What is up, everybody, and good morning. It is Thursday, June 4th of 2026. This is Nick Fiore of FioriousNation here on YouTube, episode 27 of a Forbidden Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Nick Fiore of FioriousNation. I know Adam Carl's not in here yet at this time. He should be in a little bit. Whenever he shows up in the next 15, maybe a little bit before that or what have you. Either way, just video calling him and letting him know going live here. I'm sure he'll pop in when he can. Going live earlier than usual on a Thursday because of a doctor's appointment, personal reasons, doctor appointments later on. So this stream most likely gonna try really hard to keep it no longer than 3 hours. So that's the goal here for this episode. But whenever Adam Carl pops up, he will send him the link and everything. But we got a lot of juicy stuff to talk about. And what a week it's gonna be. Obviously today, Forbidden Podcast, episode 27 with me and Adam Carl when he shows up in here. Hopefully he does. He should be. I'm confident in that. So that's that. And then speaking of a newsworthy week with not just today's episode 27 of Forbidden Podcast, but speaking of which, Ricky, shout out to Ricky of the People's Wrestling Channel. He says, "Hi guys," and says, "Are you ready for tomorrow?" Now, that being said, ready for tomorrow. So tomorrow, 11 a.m., where I am in the United States of Poughkeepsie, New York. Ricky's over in the UK. The People's Wrestling Channel tomorrow, 11 a.m., I am going to be a guest on Ricky's show, on Ricky's channel, the People's Wrestling Channel, tomorrow, 11 a.m. Mark that date tomorrow. It's going to be a very newsworthy show. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be great, and you're not going to want to miss out. And it's going to be can't miss. It's going to be Ricky. It's going to be me. Talk some good wrestling. It's going to be really good, and I'm really excited and looking forward to that. For the first time ever being on Ricky's show tomorrow. Super pumped for that. Make sure you tune into that tomorrow as well to look forward what's tomorrow after this episode. Go check out other stuff here on the channel as well. Previous episodes and all that good stuff as well. And we're finally now in the month of June. We're halfway in the year. It is June 4th, 2026 as we speak. And my goodness, it's already June, man. We ended the month of May strong. We entered the month of May strong. We're going to continue. We're going to have, now it's the beginning of June. We're going to be even stronger. Come now that it's June. Now that it's now June at this time. And Ricky says, if you can send me the links, things you want to promote, if you can send me, if you can send me links to things you want to promote tomorrow. Absolutely, my guy. Absolutely, Ricky. And shout out to Ricky. So I can assure you, Ricky, on that. Once again, shout out to Ricky. So that's going to be really, really good tomorrow. So make sure you tune into that. And before we begin, I also want to say, hope everyone had a nice end of May and all that good stuff. And like I said, and now we're almost into the summer. Memorial Day's past us, going into the month of June now, and into June to all the other stuff. Few weeks to go until the summer and stuff. So my favorite time of the year, by the way. I'm more of a summer guy. For those of you who don't know me, I'm more of a summer guy. But that's a conversation for another time. Don't want to ramble on too much. But before we begin our topics today, and hopefully Adam Carl's in here soon, because these juice topics of his he wants to discuss too. Before we begin, first things first, hit the like on the video. Oh, we got another comment in the chat. Ricky says four pay-per-views in 2 days on 27th, 28th. Yes, that is one of the topics actually. Right in the description. We're definitely going to talk about that. First things first, hit the like on the video and make sure you subscribe to Furious Nation. Especially if you're a newbie watching Furious Nation, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. It helps in the YouTube algorithm a ton. Make sure you hit the bell for all notifications when you do subscribe to Furious Nation. Also, as well, helps in YouTube algorithm, and I really appreciate all you guys' love and support. It's super appreciated coming from me to all you guys. I mean it wholeheartedly. It means a ton. You have no idea how much it means, especially what happened the past week. Fortunately, being laid off from my previous job and now trying to file for unemployment and trying to find another job, that's been rough. And it's been quite the week, but I know they say everything happens for a reason, and something will pop up. Just keep being gritty and applying, as a wise one once told me, that you got to be gritty, put yourself out there, and you'll be fine. Things will come. Everything happens for a reason, and some things are a blessing. And it's hard to believe it when you're in the moment when you're laid off, and it's hard to think of the day of being laid off from a job, but it's so true. Everything happens for a reason. And this is on, and that being said, and then this just being a nice escape from all that with wrestling, and it truly means the world to me with you guys love and supporting you, showing up here, and I can't thank you enough, so guys. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to all you guys. Thank you. And make sure you also follow me on X at FioriousNick579. That's over on X, aka Twitter, at FiorioNick579. Go follow me on X. Fiore at FioriousNation over on TikTok as well. Instagram, Nicholas Fiore 2014 over on my Instagram, and Nicholas Fiore 31 on Facebook as well. Add me as a friend on Facebook if you like. So there's that as well. And then follow Adam Carl at Adam Carl 2005 on X as well. Ricky unfortunately doesn't have social media, much of it, but maybe Facebook, but links in the description for all that and good stuff. But we actually, now speaking of Ricky, he mentioned this comment: 4 pay-per-views in 2 days on June 27th and June 28th. We actually might as well just start that. I was going to start something else first. I figured start the quick, not much newsworthy topics in the beginning, then save the big juicy ones for later on in the show. So might as well. I was going to start with maybe a little AEW talk before the June 27th, June 28th weekend shows, but actually might as well start with the 4 pay-per-views in 2 days, June 27th, 28th, that topic right here. Now, I seen this the other day right here. Apparently now, obviously, as you guys know, Night of Champions this year in Saudi Arabia will take place live on ESPN Unlimited on Saturday afternoon, Saturday, June 27th of 2026. That being said, there are other shows taking place over that weekend as well. In fact, the next day, 3 shows on the June 28th, as far as that's concerned. 3 shows taking place on the 28th. It'll be NXT Great American Bash taking place live on CW, and then the what else? Oh, TNA Slammiversary as well. And I think that takes place live in Boston, Massachusetts, June 28th for TNA Slammiversary, and then AEW Forbidden Door on June 28th as well. That is taking place live from San Jose, California too. So we got Night of Champions on the 27th in Saudi, and then the 28th for Slammiversary, Forbidden Door, and Great American Bash, all on the 28th of June. So it'll be a stacked weekend for wrestling that weekend for sure to close out the month of June. Now, I am going to give my honest critique on this. For the 28th date, do I think it's petty on WWE's behalf to have shows countering with AEW shows? Yes, I do. Now, on the flip side, it's also good with competition where people can have alternatives what they want to choose to watch on a wrestling weekend. And you're also allowed to like and watch all or both or whatnot. I personally am probably not gonna watch. I'm definitely watching Night of Champions. That's a given for the 27th. For the 28th, Forbidden Door, yes, watching that. For NXT or Slammiversary, if I had to choose, and no disrespect to TNA, I may have to choose NXT because, and the reason I say that is because of NXT. They signed a deal with their PLEs for the CW network, a very nice deal, where NXT can have their PLEs. They moved off Peacock, by the way. NXT PLEs can be on the CW network app, but also an alternative on another choice, ESPN Unlimited. I will be using CW network app, I can assure you, because I'm not paying $30 a month for ESPN Unlimited. Fuck that. But yeah, for NXT, TNA, and AEW that day, I mean, it's going to be hard to watch all 3, but I mean, I'll be honest with you. Let's be real. WWE, AEW, and WWE are both petty. They are. Like, whether you want to admit it or not, they're fucking petty. I mean, you could have you could have had the NXT Great American Bash on any weekend but this weekend. I mean, if it was up to me, honestly, you know what I would have done? I probably would have had NXT Great American Bash. Now, granted, it's on a 4th of July weekend for America's 250th birthday, this 4th of July, by the way, for those of you who celebrate 4th of July. I know it would have been like the day after 4th of July, July 5th, which is on a Sunday this year, but you could have very well done NXT Great American Bash on that date. So that's just my opinion, just a thought. But yeah, they chose this weekend for end of June. And I mean, I don't understand why WWE can't leave AEW pay-per-views alone. And they're trying to get less talk out of AEW Forbidden Door as possible. And I think it's just petty on WWE's behalf. Coming from big WWE fan here, I have to be open and honest with you guys. I think it's a petty move. They could have done this a different weekend, but hey, it is what it is. But you know what? I will say this. It'll be a very good weekend for wrestling for everybody. I mean, will I watch all 3? Yes, but it's probably not going to be all 3 live. It'll definitely be Forbidden Door watching that. NXT or TNA, it's 50-50. I'm probably leaning towards NXT, though you can watch it any other time. I know some people will say, oh, well, NXT, it'll be over by the time Forbidden Door shows up or Slammiversary. It's still petty. It's still petty, dude. So, I mean, I will say this, though. I mean, it gives fans choices, alternatives, which ones to watch, and everybody wins because, you know, you can like all 3, all or both, and you can watch whatever you want at your own time. I get it. I mean, everyone wins. It's like you can, it's like gives more people, like more options for people to watch wrestling on that weekend. But I just find it petty that, you know, they could have left AEW alone on their own weekend. and have NXT in a different weekend. That probably would. Honestly, it would have been better off. You know, I mean, Night of Champions 27th, that's a given, no questions asked. But Forbidden Door on the 28th, just leave AEW alone, that be. And if and TNA Slammiversary could have been on a different weekend too. If you wanted Slammiversary and if you wanted Slammiversary on the weekend, like, or you could have done Slammiversary on the July 5th as well, or the next week, the weekend after 4th of July, for all I care. So that's just my opinion, but I just find it very petty on WWE's behalf, and let me know what you guys think on that. And I know I am not the only one who feels that way. And Ricky in the chat here says, I will be doing double the stream. I just hope TNA finishes as Great American Bash starts. I think, let me look it up, because I think they start like earlier. Let me see. NXT Great American Bash start time. Let me look this up. So the NXT Great American Bash begins at 7 p.m. Forbidden Door most likely starting at 8. I think more people will be talking about AEW than NXT. And NXT, so like I said, it's petty to having this around almost the same time slot as AEW. I just wish they just leave AEW alone to their own weekend, to be honest. Then Ricky says, TNA have only sold 300 tickets so far. Damn. Yeah, yikes, you don't say. And Ricky says, does WWE really see AEW as competition? WWE has made more money in the first 3 months of this year than AEW has ever made. They made almost $500,000. Well, AEW is competition to them, but WWE won't say that. They won't admit it. But in reality, AEW is very much competition to WWE, no questions asked. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So that's just my 2 cents on that right there. But yeah, moving on from the wrestling end of June 27th, June 28th talks. I would like to move on to the next topic here. Hold on, let me pull this up. I might as well talk about this other minor story as well. Jim Ross. Apparently Jim Ross's AEW contract expires this August. Now, I say this as minor news because I'll be honest with you guys, I don't think Jim Ross is going anywhere. I think he stays in AEW. I think he signs a new deal or an extension. AEW's been very good to him. That he's been there since day one. I know he's a bit older, not what he used to be, but he could still help. Very valuable, wise, very much like in a backstage capacity role or something like that, or an agent. But I don't think he really should be commentating anymore, especially getting older now. He's one of the greatest commentators of all time. Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler, still to this day. If you ask me, Nick Fiore, who are your favorite commentators? Who do you think are the best commentators in wrestling of all time? Well, you have Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse the Body Ventura, one of the greatest legends. Jesse the Body Ventura and Gorilla Monsoon, God rest his soul. And then you got Jerry the King Lawler and Jim Ross. Absolutely. Especially like Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross, man, just they are like Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler are neck and neck with Monsoon and Ventura, man. Like they're like neck and neck, legit. And Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler were so great during on commentary, especially in the 90s and the Attitude Era, and even on Monday Night Raw throughout the Ruthless Aggression era. And it was just like to me, JR and Jerry Lawler and Monsoon and Heenan, to me, the top two tied, honestly, to me, greatest commentary teams of all time. And if I were to say like a top 3 in there as well, I would say Michael Cole and Taz, ECW original, who's now in AEW, who I do miss in WWE, and he's a future Hall of Famer, no questions asked. He should go in the Hall of Fame. And I remember Michael Cole and Taz on SmackDown back in the day, especially in the early 2000s, how great they were, the great chemistry those two had, and they just clicked. I would name them in my top 3 greatest commentary teams of all time as Michael Cole and Taz as well. And I guess we got good news. We got Adam Carl here in the chat. What's up, Adam Carl? Little late than never, but he's here.
I'm here, finally.
Yeah, better late than never, man.
Just had some sleep. Some work.
Yeah, no worries on that. But I mean, yeah, no sleeping on rest. Go ahead.
Better late than never. Folks.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But yeah, saying about Jim Ross, I don't think he goes anywhere. I think he re-signs with AEW. They've been very, very good to him, and there's no reason for him to leave. So I think he stays.
I probably assumed the same thing. He and Tony, they have so much respect for each other.
Yes.
The issue with Jim Ross these days, he's obviously a legend, the GOAT commentator, obviously.
Yes. Him and Jerry Lawler.
At the same time, though, the last few years of his life, they have not been good. Obviously, especially health-wise. Like you hear all these stories with JR, he's falling, or he has cancer.
Yeah. He recently had cancer and beat cancer as well. I mean, and shout out to Jim Ross for beating cancer, man. Fuck cancer, by the way. Fuck cancer. But yeah, that's also a very good point as well. I mean, could Tony Khan re-sign him but have him like in the backstage role? Absolutely. But I don't think he needs to commentate anymore. He's already proven like he's one of the greatest commentators of all time. Not just in WWE history, but in the history of the entire industry landscape of professional wrestling. And I think he deserves like all the flowers he gets because I think he's earned them, more than earned them.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe backstage. But then again, would JR be able to travel though? Because the health problems and the falls.
Yeah, or maybe like a Legends or ambassador role.
Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I would make him an ambassador for the company.
Yeah, like he's helped that company. He's helped that company since day one. Since day one. The guy is a WWE legend, but he's helped AEW get off the ground to where they are. Without him, they're really I don't think, I mean, you got Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega, MJF and the Bucks that are pretty much AEW. But if you want to talk about another guy that's pretty much helped AEW become who they are, has pretty much made AEW, it's Jim Ross. It really is Jim Ross. So, I mean, I don't think he goes anywhere. I don't think he leaves or goes back to WWE. I think he stays. I do. I don't think WWE really needs him. They got Michael Cole. They got Corey Graves on Raw. Or no, yeah, they're on Raw. They're doing fine. Wade Barrett, Joe Tessitore, NXT, they're doing fine as well. They're both teams are doing good commentary-wise. Vic Joseph, as much as not a big fan of him, they don't need Jim Ross. Booker T, not a big fan of Booker T on commentary, outside of Trick Williams and Stephanie Vecchia, but outside of that, I don't think they need Jim Ross. I think Jim Ross pretty much stays with AEW, and Tony Khan renegotiates and signs him to a new contract. Maybe they sign him to an ambassador deal. Who knows? That's my take on that. But also other news. Did you hear this news, bro? Curtis Axel was recently arrested for an alleged DWI incident at a McDonald's. He was recently arrested. Curtis Axel. This is the son of Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. Now, reading this news, seeing this, so I seen this article, if I can pull it up. Now, this right here, according to, that's right here. Oh, it got some ads on this stupid thing. I know. Yeah, I don't want these stupid ads on here. I know. But it says right here, according to the complaint, it says, per the criminal complaint, the incident occurred on May 17, 2026 at approximately 8:47 p.m. when the officers from the St. Francis Police Department were dispatched to the property damage crash at the McDonald's on St. Francis Boulevard Northwest. Officers reportedly arrived to find a truck driven by Henning slowly navigating the parking lot. According to the complaint, when an officer stopped the vehicle, they detected a strong odor of alcohol when Henning allegedly exhibiting bloodshot, watery eyes, and slurred speech. When instructed to step out of the vehicle, Henning reportedly refused. Officers opened the door, reached inside to turn off the engine, and placed the keys on the passenger seat. After continued defiance, officers reportedly physically removed Henning from the truck, escorted him to the ground, and handcuffed him. Per the complaint, while seated in the squad car, an officer read Henning the Minnesota breath test adversary. Henning allegedly refused chemical testing and responded with profanities and a slur directed at officers. Now, so at this time, Henning faces the following charges: traffic DWI for refusal to submit the chemical test, operating motor vehicle under influence of alcohol misdemeanor, as well as the misdemeanor for the refuse to submit the chemical test, obstruct legal process, interfere with peace officer misdemeanor, and two other misdemeanors: traffic with open bottle law and disorderly conduct, offensive, abusive, boisterous, noisy / obscene. The alleged offense date is May 17th, with the case filed in court on May 18th. Bail was set at $0 by Judge Karen B. Schomer. Per the court records, the defendant has the option of posting $12,000 bail or bond with no conditions, or $0 release with conditions. End article. Thoughts on this?
I guess he wasn't so perfect.
Yeah, no pun intended, but I mean, don't drink. Don't be too drunk. And it's a shame what happened with it. It's like why would you do that?
It's fucking ridiculous.
Like, why would you do?
Why would you go to a fucking McDonald's and just
go ahead.
Like what, in the middle of the night, and you're fighting off people?
And you're all drunk and driving under the influence, which is dumb. Like if you're drunk, you shouldn't be driving. Like, why are you you're drunk and you're getting in the car, turning on the engine, and you're driving? It's so stupid. Like, you're drunk and you get in the car. What sense does it make? Like, why would you do something like that?
So stupid.
Well, Jeff Hardy did them in the past, and yeah, I didn't like that either. But you know what? He's gotten clean. He's been sober. He's been much better over the years, ever since being with his brother Matt Moore, and Matt's really helped him, by the way. Especially the past 4 years.
Yeah.
If anything, Curtis Axel needs help.
Yeah.
They need to send him to rehab because, this could have gone a lot worse. This really could have gone a lot worse. I mean, I hope he doesn't go down this dark path.
Why are you driving under the influence?
Yeah, I don't get that.
Like how much money has he earned? Like, I'm sure he's a billionaire. I'm sure he could pay for a taxi.
Yeah, pay fines or a bail bond or whatnot. I don't know if there's a bail bond, I think, or it's a $12,000 bail, which is a lot of money, but I don't understand why, like, your notable name, didn't have much success in WWE under the Vince administration era, but it's like, You made a lot of money there. You're a notable name there. And then you're no longer in the company. And then that's what he's been out of the company for 6 years. And now he's getting caught with DWIs and resisting the cops. And he's disorderly conduct and he's resisting arrest. I'm sure that's another charge, resisting arrest. That's a big fine. You don't want to do that. I just don't understand why you're just fucking up like this. I don't get that. Like, if you ask me, Curtis Axel needs help. He really needs to be sent to rehab, and he needs all the help he can get, because this is not acceptable behavior. I'm honestly pissed at him. I'm disappointed in him. You know, this did not need to happen.
It's pathetic.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have happened.
I hear of all these guys, even Eddie Guerrero before he passed away. Look at what he did with the DUIs and got even in the house, I think. And even so much so, in 2001, I think he got let go from WWE because he showed up to work so high and drunk, and they just had to let him go. And they sent him to rehab, and then he came back the next year.
Yeah.
In 2002, I said that's when he worked the Indies, and he was trying to get his act together. I'm sorry.
Why would you drive to McDonald's and get pissed off at people? Like this was what, in the morning? Like, people are closing. Like, you should be staying home by that point.
Go ahead. Yeah. Just not acceptable behavior. Really not acceptable behavior.
Like, do better. This is 2026. It's not that difficult to be a decent guy.
No, it isn't. I just hope he's able to turn his life around, because this is just not okay. I'm sorry. There's no defending this. Like, I understand it's like he could have been better in WWE years ago, yes, but it's like you're a notable name there, and you're just trying to dig your dirt in the ground. It's like I'm pissed. I'm honestly more pissed at him. You know, like, it's so sad to see some of these wrestlers, you know, that, you know, could have been something, then they leave, or they leave under circumstances. Remember, Velveteen Dream could have been something in WWE had he not fucked up. Now, this is like a lot worse, but I don't know if I should say that, but it's like both are not okay. But it's like, remember when Velveteen Dream during the Speaking Out movement 6 years ago was exposed, and then Triple H tried to help him, and then Patrick Clark was being difficult to work with and like a drama queen, and they had to let him go because he was just so bad. He was just so bad. And now look where Patrick Clark is, and it's a shame, because he could have been a top face of the company guy today, and he flushed all that down the toilet. Like, what a fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Adam Carl would agree with me too.
Yeah. And all these bad attitudes backstage, the drugs and DMs, whether they were fake or not.
Or DUIs, or driving without a license. I think Jeff Hardy drove without a license 4 years ago when he was an AEW dude. Without a license. Like, that's just stupid. Why? Now,
what else?
Thankfully, Jeff. Thankfully,
also attack a gym guy.
Yes, yeah, that's another one. Like, thankfully, Jeff Hardy's turned his life around, and Matt, his older brother, Matt Hardy's been a big factor in that, because Matt has obviously for years turned his life around. Jeff was with his history with the drugs, but I feel like the past 4 years, and Jeff's been really clean and sober. Matt's been a big contributor to that, and you can thank his older brother Matt for that, for really helping his brother out, which honestly, Jeff needed his brother. You know, and I'm glad Matt saved Jeff's life over the past 4 years, and still to this day, I'm really happy and proud of Matt for that. And Matt Hardy's not stupid. He's a family man, has a wife, 4 kids. He's not dumb. One of the nicest people you can meet. Great, humble guy in his 50s, but he's a great guy, you know, and good with him for helping turn his brother, and when Jeff turned his life around. Thanks. I mean, kudos to Matt for that, because he really, had it not been for Matt, I don't think Jeff would be sober as he is today, and better now. like Velveteen Dream, like you said, could have could have been a bit. I could have been the face of the company. Could have been a big deal on Raw or SmackDown, but he threw it all away for what? Just stupid. Curtis Axel now doing just shit like this. That's like, why? I just hope he's able to turn his life around, because this is not okay behavior. Hopefully he goes to rehab, because he could certainly use it. And Ricky of the People's Wrestling Channel says Curtis Axel still hasn't been eliminated from the Royal Rumble. Yeah, that was like 2015, 11 years ago. And you had the whole Axel Mania thing. Remember that?
Yeah. I don't think we should be using a joke when it comes to situations like this.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but it's a shame what happened with Curtis Axel. Just head scratching. Speaking of head scratching, did you read the recent news, bro? Nick Khan, he claims that the WrestleMania 40 plans never changed, and he also claims that WWE doesn't listen to the criticism on social media. Sure thing, Mr. Nick Khan. I don't believe this for a second. Now, I'm going to read you this. Now, this was from at SBJ. Nick Khan claims that the plans for WrestleMania 40 never changed. Quote, by the way, the plan was always how it ended up in Philly 2 years ago. It's a predetermined outcome in wrestling. You want to throw the fans off. You want to let things bake, and then boom, it ends up the way that we wanted it to end up. It never changed. It was just online rumors and gossip that we were changing. It never changed. We convinced Dwayne Johnson to come back. He's on our board of directors. It was a tag team match. He's about the same age I am. So 2 years ago, let's say he was 50. He was obviously in phenomenal shape. He did everything that we asked of him and then some, but that was always the result we were looking for. Bullshit. I smell bullshit. You know, Cody Rhodes won the 2024 Royal Rumble, right? Triple H wanted that. And, you know, the rumors with Rock and Roman at WrestleMania 40 one-on-one, where this could have been Rock and Roman at WrestleMania well before WrestleMania 40, but Rock chose to not show up and wait, and Rock would decide to show up when he'd feel like it, because Rock only cares about himself and the paycheck. He don't care about pro wrestling. He's just there for his shitty Hollywood movies, for the shitty Hollywood money. That's all Rock gives a shit about. And, you know, Triple H just like trying to get in hold of Rock. Rock, are you going to be in the 2024 Royal Rumble and win it? And Rock was hard to reach out to. And he wouldn't respond. He wouldn't show up. No answer. So Triple H went with Cody Rhodes win the Rumble. And then remember that SmackDown after the 2024 Royal Rumble where Cody Rhodes told Roman, I choose you, Roman, but not at WrestleMania. And then that's when The Rock came out. And Rock just takes Cody's Royal Rumble win away from him. And Rock wasn't even in the Rumble. Didn't even win the Rumble. And Rock takes Cody's Rumble win away from him. Like, what? Like, what for what? It's so fucking beyond dumb. It's like you just made Cody Rhodes Rumble win worthless at that point. And then there was a big fan backlash, and we spoke up. Even the wrestlers, Logan Paul, I think, was one of them that spoke up that this is stupid. You know, Cody, it should be Cody and Roman, not Rock and Roman, something along those lines. And then fans were booing Rock. Every time Rock's name was brought up, Rock was booed. Even in Vegas for that WrestleMania 40 press conference in Las Vegas in February 2024, when Rock was going over the family tree, blah, 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 just nauseating garbage. Then Rock was booed, whether you like it or you don't like it, and Rock was booed. And at that point, Rock was fucked. He had to go heel at that point. And look what happened. He turned heel, became the final boss. And honestly, heel Rock was better than face Rock. That babyface Rock had gone stale for years. And people missed that 03 Hollywood Rock. And thank goodness we got the heel Rock and we had Cody being able to finish his story. But it's like, to claim that the way WrestleMania 40 happened was always the plan, I don't believe that at all. I do believe like there was and still to this day a power struggle between Triple H and Rock. And then, you know what? When Rock tried to steal Cody Rhodes' Rumble win away from him in the main event for WrestleMania 40 away from Cody, and there was a big fan backlash, you know something? Dwayne's big ego got bruised, and you will never, ever convince me otherwise. What's your take on this, bro? Because I know I am not the only one who feels that Rock's massive ego got bruised so bad.
The stupidity of these people to claim that it was never planned for The Rock to come back. But the tag team match was always planned. My God.
You have to be that. You
have to can't even watch his own shows.
He's more the business side, but I don't know. I mean, at this point, I have to question that. My goodness, literally. Like you have to be so gullible to believe the crap coming out of Nick Khan's mouth. Yeah, Cody won the Rumble.
Cody win the Royal Rumble, and then and then a week later, you almost have him give up his WrestleMania title shot.
Oh, well, Rock and Roman and Seth and Cody. No.
How does that make any sense?
It makes no sense. Oh, but Rock and Roman's a big Money Mania match. You could have done this in 2023 in Hollywood, Los Angeles. That would have been perfect. Or even in Dallas for WrestleMania 38 in 2022 or 37 in 2021 in Tampa. But no, Rock shows up when he feels like it. He shows up when he feels like it, when it's convenient for him, not when it's convenient for us, because Rock's all about this and this only. Rock doesn't give a shit. He only cares about his Hollywood movies for the shitty money. That's all he cares about. He don't care about the wrestling business. He's not there for you or me. Dwayne's all about himself. Hell, Dwayne couldn't even be bothered to show up at WrestleMania last year and this year. And now I'm hearing rumors of Oba and Roman possibly next year at WrestleMania. Now, they say that's if Rock maybe doesn't show up next year. I would rather, like Oba and Roman or Roman and Rock. I'm going Roman and Oba next year. Who the fuck wants to see Rock and Roman now? Honestly, to me, Rock and Roman, that ship has sailed. I don't care for it. I don't want to see it. They could have done it years ago and they didn't do it. That ship has sailed. If we don't get Oba and Roman next year and we get Rock and Roman next year, I will be fucking pissed. Nobody wants to see that. Oba should be the one to fight Roman next year. Like, do you want to see Roman defend the world title against Rock next year? When it does, even if we get Rock and Roman at Mania next year, it doesn't need the championship. It doesn't.
Can The Rock even move?
Yeah, better yet, can Rock even commit? Once again, this man couldn't commit to this year's Mania or last year's Mania with Travis Scott. Remember that? John Cena's last ever WrestleMania a year ago, tainted by a fucking celebrity and Travis Scott, who also couldn't commit, who also couldn't cut the mustard as well. Remember that? When he heard Fiend, and he had the fake-ass hardcore championship, pretending like he's some kind of champion, wanted to play wrestler. This is the same man who broke Cody Rhodes' eardrum at the Chamber in Toronto last year unpurposely because Travis Scott can't fucking throw a punch to save his ass. Remember all that? And Rock couldn't show up. And that was his story last year with trying to get Cody to sell his soul. And John Cena sold his soul to The Rock last year. And Rock couldn't show up for his own story a year ago. And he couldn't commit. And then Rock wants to come on I think it was like Busted Open Radio or Pat McAfee show was one of them. The Rock said this, quote, "Everything is a work." Says everything is a work.
This was your storyline.
Like, how fucking delusional is Dwayne? How delusional is Dwayne Johnson? Like, this guy cannot take accountability. He can't take criticism. And he shows up when he feels like it. He only shows up when it's all about him. He don't give a fuck about us. He doesn't. He would rather care more about his Hollywood stuff than wrestling. Facts. You will never convince me otherwise.
Nick Khan, he says that they don't listen to social media criticisms.
Yeah, right. BS.
The same social media criticism that did the "We Want Cody" trend.
Yeah, we want Cody.
And it translated the arena.
Yep.
They made an entire WrestleMania 40 documentary behind the scenes talking about it.
Yeah, but I'm very sure WWE does not listen to the fans and does not listen to the fans online. I'm very sure they don't listen to that.
The same people online who they had Pat McAfee. The same people online that they had Pat McAfee talk about during SmackDown in the lead up to the main event of WrestleMania, and he's talking about how the roster sucks. And they brought up CageMatch.net, the worst rated SmackDown of all time. How ticket sales for WrestleMania were not selling.
Well, Cody's a terrible champion. Punk's a terrible champion.
Yeah, how come WrestleMania isn't sold out with Randy Orton of WrestleMania?
Oh, but the main event was Cody and Randy. It felt like Cody versus Pat, and Orton felt like second wheel or fourth wheel.
The third wheel.
Third wheel, yeah.
Third wheel in his own main event.
You would think it's Cody versus Pat, not Cody versus Randy.
These were the same people that. These were the same people that Pat McAfee were talking about on live television. Yeah, but they don't listen to social media.
Oh, well, Pat McAfee was getting nice heel heat. What nice heel heat, I ask? If you could find the nice heel heat Pat McAfee brought, I'd love to hear it. Oh, that's right. You won't say it because it fucking sucked.
Yeah, it sucked. Bringing up the IWC and bringing up CageMatch.net is not good heel heat.
Yet there are people that will, do anything to defend WWE or any company and just, they'll do anything they can defend and speak nothing but positivity. Unbelievable. But they don't listen to the fans and they don't listen to online criticism, right? Sure thing, Mr. Nick Khan. Sure thing. I don't buy that whatsoever. You imagine buying that load of crap. Yeah, like you said, documentary at WrestleMania 40. Yeah, Nick Khan wants to come on and say we don't listen to the fans that give criticism online. They're a vocal minority. Bullshit. Bullshit. Ricky comes in the chat as well. Rock is a business with a family. Of course, money comes first. Yeah, no shit. Then he says money pays more than WWE. Rock gets paid $50 million per movie. He's not making that in WWE. Well, the thing is, Rock needs WWE. WWE does not need Rock. Rock is only there in the WWE and on the board because The Rock is not that great Hollywood star he once was anymore. John Cena is now that great Hollywood star. Rock used to be. Now he's not anymore. Facts. You can clip it right here. You will never convince me otherwise. Rock needs WWE. WWE does not need Rock. Rock can't even commit. Yet he makes a shit ton of money with him on the board. Yet he's never fucking there to show up. When that money could go to somebody else who deserves it a lot more than Dwayne does. Who is there? Like, do you know how ridiculous that sounds, bro?
So ridiculous.
Unbelievable. But yeah, we might as well move on to the next topics of this video, dude. Dave Meltzer. I want to talk a little Dave Meltzer. He says that Tony Khan should reach out to Kendall Gray. Now, well, Dave Meltzer was speaking so highly of Miss Kendall Gray, who, by the way, is one of the best females on NXT, one of the best people in NXT overall, and probably, to me, the best female wrestler and wrestler overall in the entire company in wrestling today. She's that fucking good, dude. Like, she is that good. But Dave Meltzer, but she's the future piece of this WWE company for years and years to come. I'm telling you right now. But this is what Meltzer says. He said on The Observer that Kendall Gray's upside is better than every woman in AEW, including Mercedes Moné, who returned last night, by the way, as the wild card. Gee, I wonder who's winning the Owen this year, not Athena. And then continuing, Meltzer says that if he were Tony Khan, he would be reaching out to Kendall Gray right now. Says on her ability, I think her upside is better than any of them. I mean, she's a better athlete than all of them, every single one, including Mercedes. She's quicker. Yeah, I mean, she's got more potential than any of them. And then he says on what he would do as Tony. Of all the people in NXT in the WWE system, I mean, I don't know what her contract situation is, and I said this before. If I was Tony, she'd be the one where it's just like, get the word out. Like, you got a place here, and you don't have to spend another year there. You'll be up here, and especially now. Look at the AEW women's division now. There's a lot of injuries. Well, it was the top of the ones that are there today because there's no Mercedes right now. There's no Toni Storm for a long time. There's spots here on her matches. Quote, I watch her matches. I think they're better than any of the AEW women's matches, like her match with Kalani Jordan. I mean, there have been AEW women's matches better than that, but not lately. All I will say is this. The one thing that Kendall Gray should not do, if you want to know, the one thing Kendall Gray should not do, Kendall Gray should not be listening ever to Dave Meltzer. Point blank.
If you want success in this business, do not listen to Uncle Dave. Do
First
the opposite of what he does.
Yes,
and do the opposite of what he says.
First of all, she's well into WWE contract. And why would she leave, by the way? Why would she leave? This is another thing people are not thinking about.
Make it make sense. Like you say that you like her more than the women in AEW, and you think that she's a better athlete and better than Mercedes. That you want. You're saying that if I'm Tony, I would be reaching out to her.
Because all of a sudden, Dave Meltzer now Tony Khan's talent recruiter. All of a sudden,
make it make sense. Make this make sense.
And she's well under a WWE contract. This is like contract tampering. Like, is Meltzer now the talent recruiter for Tony and AEW now?
You're saying that you like her more than you think that she has more potential than all the AEW women's division. She's better than Mercedes, and yet you want her. And yet you're saying that if I'm Tony Khan, that I would want to sign her.
My God,
like, bro, make it make sense. Then again, it's Dave Meltzer. Does he ever make sense?
Never. Rare cases he does. And I don't know who. Like, imagine believing the Observer and believing anything he says in 2026. Like, you have to be that fucking gullible and worse than he is to believe anything that he says. The guy is full of shit. Meltzer is legitimately full of shit. The guy has no credibility, and more times than not, he gets things wrong than he gets things right. This is why with the Observer, take it with a grain of salt. Like, 9 times out of 10, he gets it wrong than he gets it fucking right. Like, do not believe a word he says it. Like, more times than not, don't believe a damn word he says. He's full of shit. Meltzer is full of shit. And I don't care who I upset or piss off. It's the truth. Like you have to be out of your mind to believe Meltzer as a source in 2026 in pro wrestling. Oh, but Meltzer's done it longer than anybody. Who cares?
Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit how long he's been doing this?
Rick even says, hell is frozen over. Davis said WWE is better than AEW. Well, if it's Kendall Gray, maybe. But
yet at the same time says that if I'm Tony Khan, I would be reaching out and sign her. As if she doesn't have a fucking contract. Like what? Like, that's contract tampering.
Yeah. Like, what's the fuck's going on? Like, he has, well, Ospreay's a talent recruiter, but let's bring Ricochet in, Dakota Kai in. Now Dave Meltzer, let's bring Kendall Gray in. Like, are all of a sudden Ospreay and Meltzer the talent recruiters for Tony Khan?
Maybe.
I don't know. But I thought I'd just get that quick thing out there, man. But yeah, like we said, the one thing Kendall Gray should never, ever do in wrestling, she should never listen to Dave Meltzer. Kendall Gray should just not listen to Dave Meltzer, and she should just laugh at him. Yeah. Maybe Kendall Gray should make Dave Meltzer fade to gray. You know?
Maybe.
But moving on here, ladies and gentlemen, to the next topic of discussion, I do want to talk about this. Apparently, little NXT news. Apparently, this NXT wrestler was going to be called up this summer to the main roster, but it looks like it's not expected anytime soon now. If you want to know who that is, I can pull it up right now. It's Nikita Lyons. Now, Nikita Lyons has been in WWE and NXT for 5 years. She's talented, but she's not been on the main roster yet. Now, this is according to Corey Hayes' False Finish reporting that despite WWE officials being very impressed with Lyons since her return from injury, she continued to work NXT and Evolve. The False Finish report also, the False Finish reporting represents an update to the broader Nikita Lyons main roster speculation. The previous TRN BCKO reporting 1 week earlier had positioned Lyons as a potential addition to Monday Night Raw this summer, with the False Finish update now pushing back on the imminent call-up framing. Per the False Finish report, False Finish has learned that WWE officials have been impressed with the work of Nikita Lyons since her return from injury. However, Lyons is not expected to be headed to the main roster in the foreseeable future. Lyons will continue working both Evolve and NXT. Lyons made her WWE debut in December 2021, following a 2-year spell with Women of Wrestling as Faith the Lioness. Her last televised in-ring outing saw Lyons and Zarya come up short against the team of Tatum Paxley and Lizzie Rain after Zarya walked out on her tag team partner. That was not long ago on NXT. Since then, Lyons had competed at NXT live events and WWE main event, and also appeared on season 3 of WWE LFG. End of report. There we go. Oh, there we go. Mickey also says in the chat, Nina Lyons is, and this may be his opinion, Nikita Lyons is awful and she can't even get a win and Evolve. I mean, she's got, I don't know, maybe a little work to do. She is talented, in my opinion. But I don't know what you think on this. I mean, it is a nice new fresh face on Raw, but I don't think Nikita Lyons has done a little, at least win a championship. If I was up to me, have Nikita Lyons at least win a championship before being called up. Because if you call her up, are much people going to know who she is unless you give her video packages or whatnot? But also the injuries have not helped her either. If she can stay healthy, she could be something in the main roster, Raw or SmackDown, for years to come. But with her just coming back and just trying to get to where she needs to be, I don't know if I'd really call her up right now, to be honest. Have her at least a year and a half or something like that and just stay healthy. Maybe give her an NXT championship reign before calling her up. I don't know how you feel. But I think do I think she has what it takes? Yes. But I think but with the injuries have not helped her whatsoever. And I think her and Evolve, not just NXT Evolve, it's like a last chance thing, because how many times she gotten injured? Like more than once? Like, she's quite injury prone, but I just hope she can stay healthy. But I appreciate the fresh new faces on Raw, but I would not call her up to the main roster right now. There's other names you could call up to Raw, like Tatum Paxley. She's ready. Or Zarya, I think by the end of this year, beginning or around, I would say the latest around right before or after Mania next year, you could call up Zarya. But in my opinion, Lola Vice, you could call up same thing. Kendall Gray could also be on SmackDown as well, killing it. But Nikita Lyons, I think needs a little more time, in my opinion. What do you think?
I think that's honestly what has the reason why she was never called up to begin with is because of her injuries.
Yeah.
It was well, she had 2 knee injuries, and then she was out for a long time.
Yeah, one of them was like an ACL injury.
Yeah.
Which is a big injury.
Like, I mean, it hasn't helped her case. She kept she was hurt. That's why they never gave her the call up to begin with. And they don't want to call her up just yet, at least.
Yeah.
I think she will end up on the main roster at some point, maybe next year, maybe a few months.
As
But
long as she can
I
stay
think she
healthy.
needs a little bit more time in NXT. And I mean, with all fairness to her, I mean, she's done well. I mean, she dropped weight. You know,
Yeah.
she's slimmed down. She's doing some good work. I think that's what probably helped a lot. You know, she slimmed down and she has had better mobility now, and it's been
Yeah.
easier on her knees.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, if she doesn't want to get released, she can't get injured. I think this is like her last chance.
yeah.
Like on a borrowed time, it's either, go to Evolve and the NXT, become something without getting injured, or you get released.
Yeah, and I think it was I think the move to Evolve has been a blessing for her. She's done some good work so far on NXT.
Yeah. Like, look at Kendall Gray. When she started NXT, and then she was just no character, just a noob, like no character, like no, just was like you didn't see anything yet on her. She was just another body on the roster, just another person wrestler on the roster. Then they have Evolve, and then she goes down to Evolve, becomes Evolve Women's Champion. She kills it. She's like a completely different person. You wouldn't even recognize it the same person. Kendall Gray. Look what she's doing now. Even Wendy Chu, I think, is down there now as the Evolve Women's Champion. You got some talented people over there. PJ Vasa. I think you got not Nikita Lyons there as well. You got, I think, one or two more. I'm trying to remember them, but yeah. But Nikita Lyons, I mean, yeah, the move to Evolve has been a blessing. At least she can find herself like Kendall Gray did, and Wendy Chu as well. She's doing decent down there.
Maybe we see her as Evolve champion, or maybe as Women's North American champion.
Yeah, I mean, look at Wendy Chu. Remember when she had the pillow sleeping gimmick? She got rid of that immediately when she went to Evolve, became serious, and now she's the champion down there.
Yeah, she's done well.
Yeah. They have some talented people down there in Evolve. I think Sloane Jacobs, who used to be in NXT 2.0, was released and then went to the Indies, and she's a WWE ID prospect, and now she's back in WWE under the WWE ID program. I think she's wrestling Evolve as well as Sloane Jacobs. I remember she was very green as grass in 2022. Then she got cut, went to the Indies, and now she's back, pretty much, technically. And she's still doing Indies and signed with the WWE ID program. So she's pretty much back. Again, they got talented people down there in Evolve, but I just hope Nikita Lyons can find herself. I do. Because she's got potential. She could really be something.
She just needs to stay healthy. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And
if she ever wants to get the call up to Raw or SmackDown, I think she needs to be, on her A game.
Yeah. Pretty much time is not on her side. And if she knows she can't get this, she knows she has to get this right and pass. Because if she doesn't, she's done. If she doesn't, she's definitely on the next budget cut list if they do one. And I don't think anyone wants to see that. Because she can be something. She could really be something. So I'll be rooting for her. I really hope she passes this, because I want her to succeed. But the injuries certainly not have helped. Look at Dakota Kai. Like, she could have been something, but the injuries they didn't help whatsoever. Tegan Nox is a perfect example. All the potential in the world, but those knee injuries did not help her case, period. And look what happened. Just couldn't stay healthy. Tegan Nox could have been in WWE still now, and a big new name, probably win the women's title at least once in WWE and still be in the company to this day. Could have been that with Tegan Nox still in WWE to this day, had Tegan Nox not got those multiple injuries and actually just stayed healthy. But injuries happen to anyone at any time, and she could have been big in WWE and probably still in the company now had she just simply stayed healthy. I could say the same thing with Dakota Kai too. All potential in the world, but with those injuries, like she got injured 3-4 times, and now she's not in the company anymore. Now she's killing it on the indies, reinventing herself. I could probably see her back in WWE one day, But when she was there previously, Dakota Kai last year before she got released, those injuries did not help her at all. With the knee injuries and all, and then she was in concussion protocol. I think her second or third injury, she was out for like almost a year from 2023 to 2024. Right before WrestleMania 40, she was out for like 10 months.
Yeah, like was that also the same match which Liv Morgan got that shoulder injury?
Yes, that was the same one.
Yeah, like there was some a Doomsday Device move, but like Bailey was in a powerbomb position, and Dakota tried to do a double foot stomp. It did not look. It did not look pretty.
No.
And she landed right on her knee. And Liv Morgan landed right on her shoulder.
Yeah, that looked terrible. But yeah, Dakota and Tegan could have been something in WWE, and they both could have still been in WWE today had they not gotten injured so much. But, I mean, Nikita Lyons, I hope she doesn't suffer the same fate too much, and I just want her to succeed, so we'll see. We'll see. Speaking of NXT, I heard some news. Apparently, you heard the news, right? Enzo Amore looks like he's coming back to WWE, but it looks like he's coming back to NXT. Now, pulling up this report, this is according to Dave Meltzer, taken with a grain of salt again. Dave Meltzer has reported on the latest on the potential of Enzo Amore and Big Bill, aka Big Cass, WWE reunion situation, telling the Observer Wrestling newsletter that Enzo is expected to be in NXT soon, but that the Big Bill situation is more uncertain as outside the company talk grows. Per the report, the current plan is for Enzo to be on NXT soon. Nothing on Big Bill, the former Big Cass, is officially even talked about heavily in the company. From outside the company, there is a lot of talk. It's a Jericho situation where you go with the idea of he's off television for a long time, with a contract coming due, so he's possibly leaving. In most cases, that's correct, but Jericho also showed you can't say 100%, and Hobbs showed even if they are being kept on television and are holding a title and having big matches, you can't say that they are 100% staying either. Now, this aligns with the earlier reporting from False Finish that Amore was spotted at the WWE Performance Center this month. Per Fightful Select's April reporting, Big Cass's AEW contract is set to expire at the end of May or the start of June 2026. He has not appeared on AEW television since the February parking lot street fight on Collision and has worked only 2 AEW matches across all of 2026. The WrestleVotes radio report on Fightful Select had also previously confirmed that WWE has an active interest in reuniting Enzo and Big Cass. Amore has been working several independent circuit places since January 2018. Since after his January 2018 WWE release, he has wrestled for MLW, Northeast Wrestling, around the Northeast of the United States, House of Glory, GCW, and a number of regional indies under the Real One name. Across the intervening 8 years, he has also pursued a music career and also working ACW in Poughkeepsie, New York as well. I was at the one on May 16th for ACW Reckoning. I was there doing his How You Doing promo, and man, he was over as hell, man, and stuff like that. And it also brings up that the sexual assault case against Amore was closed by the Phoenix Police Department in 2018 with no charges filed. It also says Enzo and Cass were one of the most over tag teams in NXT and on the main roster in the mid-2010s. They never held the NXT titles together, but they split in 2017 when Big Cass turned on Enzo on Raw. Big Cass was then released by WWE in June 2018, and then he joined AEW in 2014 as Big Bill. I remember they broke up Enzo and Cass in 2017. That was the dumbest thing they could have done. But Enzo and Cass, man. But Enzo, man, I've seen his work live on the indies too. I will say this. Has he improved? Yes, I do think he has a little bit. So That it will throw it. So that I'm just throwing out there. Big Cass. I mean, it's probably any time now. If the rumors are true, WWE wants to bring back Enzo and Cass, want to help their tag division and stuff like that, according to reports. Big Bill's not doing much of anything in AEW. I don't know. It's like I don't think he's been injured in AEW, right? Or Tony tacked time to his contract.
No, he's never been injured.
So he should be.
He's not one that's serious.
So maybe Big Bill is exiting any time now. Who knows? But or maybe they just want to keep it quiet under the rug or whatnot. Or maybe Fightful won't say anything that Big Bill is gone from AEW because probably Fightful and Sappy Boy doesn't want to upset Tony Khan, which Tony Khan I'm sure has paid them off. Don't bullshit yourself. Sap and Meltzer are paid off Tony Khan AEW shows. Do not let anybody convince you otherwise. Who's to say? But I think Big Bill's probably gone from AEW, good chance, more likely than not. Like, what is he doing there? He's doing absolutely nothing. And I would say just get out of there. You know, he's doing fuck all there.
They're literally saying that, you know, he's not been on AEW television since February.
They've barely mentioned him on commentary either.
Yeah, he's not been on the show since February. Since what, that parking lot match? I think it was him, Brian Keith.
Who
did you know he's a bounty hunter?
Oh my god. Yeah, that was terrible.
The worst bounty hunter ever. I mean, he never wins anything.
And he's been on AEW TV twice this year. Ouch.
They fought they lost to the Rascals.
Yeah, I think Big Bill is good as gone from AEW.
Yeah, that was the last time we saw these guys. You know, Big Bill and that's the last time at least we saw Big Bill. I mean, the Rascals and Brian Keith have been on AEW television since then, but not Big Bill.
Yeah, but with Enzo and Cass on NXT, that's interesting.
The writing is on the wall for him.
Yeah,
like for that to be out for that long, your deal is coming up. Yeah, the writing is on the wall.
Yeah, but I will say this though, Enzo and Cass on NXT is an interesting one. You'd think they maybe go right to the main roster because the main roster crowd knows who they are, but them to go to NXT is interesting. What do you think of them maybe going to NXT instead of right to Raw or SmackDown?
I mean, why not? I don't.
NXT's tag division also needs help big time.
WWE system. They get adjusted to get to the WWE way of things.
They get their feet wet again. I mean, Enzo and Cass were great in NXT, especially in the black and gold days. They were great. So over, charismatic. Everybody loved Enzo and Cass, man. Me being one of them. Especially in like 2014 NXT. They were fucking awesome, dude. When the SAWFT soft, that was awesome. I'll never forget the Raw after WrestleMania 32 where they made their Raw main roster debut, confronted the Dudley Boys, and then Enzo was running his mouth to Devon, and Devon got so pissed. Then he said that the Bubba Ray as well. And then Big Cass was calling them soft. But I do wish Enzo and Cass won the tag titles in NXT before being... I do wish Enzo and Cass won the NXT tag team titles in NXT, though, before they got the main roster call-up. If they go to NXT, do I hate that? No, I don't, because I think more than any brand or any show in the WWE, I think NXT, look at their tag division. They really have nothing. Like, who do they have? Out the Mud or OTM? Who people compare them to Crime Time, and I shake my head. Like, they're not Crime Time. They're not even close to Crime Time. They got Dark State, who I'm not that high on right now. They also got, like, who? Vanity Project. That's probably the only good team they have. Like, who else do they have? Hank and Tank are a decent tag team. That's like 2 tag teams. That's not a division. If you add Enzo and Cass, I think that would help. And they would get over within no time at all. In fact, maybe give them the tag titles. Honestly, they should have won them in their first WWE run, to be quite honest with you. But I don't know, what do you think overall of Enzo and Cass probably going in NXT before going right to the main roster?
I think it's a good move. I mean, if the report is true, I think it's a good move, and that NXT could use some star power for their shows.
And if you have plans for them, and if you don't have any plans for them yet on Raw or SmackDown, Like, if you don't have any plans for them for Raw or SmackDown, like, if you have nothing for them for Raw or SmackDown at this time, I would say, don't bring them up to Raw or SmackDown unless you have a plan. If you don't have any plans for them, like you're not gonna bring them up without having a plan. You're not gonna bring them up without having a plan. NXT could use them more. To be honest, I don't think many people are thinking about it. I think it's great to have them. I think it's a better move to have them in NXT. To have them in NXT for like a year or so, and then call them up. Something like that. Oh, and Ricky also brought up the culling. Who?
Moving on.
Yeah, didn't they lose on Tuesday in NXT? I think it was Shawn Spears and who? Well, Nico Vance. Yeah. Who? Yeah. I forgot who he was. He's irrelevant. He sucks.
Moving on.
Oh, but didn't they lose? I think they lost to the Vanity Project.
Yeah,
and rightfully so.
That's all they do these days, lose.
Yeah. My goodness. Yeah, NXT's tag division is fucking deplorable. It's not even funny. Oh, but they got OTM. The Crime Time guys.
Do not ever pair OTM to Crime Time. Crime Time actually had charisma.
Yeah, Shad Gaspar, God rest his soul.
And they were entertaining. OTM are not.
Yeah, OTM is not even close to entertaining.
They are not entertaining. They don't have charisma.
There's a reason Jada Parker's a bigger star than both OTM guys. There's a reason.
She's the star of this group.
Yeah. But man, NXT's tag division is so bad. They really need help. Well, I would say Raw and SmackDown tag divisions need help. I would say merge the Raw and SmackDown tag divisions. But NXT's, man, Jesus Christ, like NXT's tag division is so bad. It's non-existent. I have two teams and the rest of the teams are fucking absolute scrubs. That's not a division. That's not a division to me. To me, that is a dead division. And they could use some life again. Add Enzo and Cass. Adding Enzo and Cass for sure would help. It would take more than Enzo and Cass, but that would be a good step. Yeah. Maybe get the Righteous in there when their TNA deals are up. I don't know why they would go to AEW when AEW got them wrong the first time. Have them go to NXT, the Vincent and Dutch of the Righteous from TNA whenever their TNA deals are up. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe some teams on the indies, some people may not be thinking about that I could be thinking about. Something like that I've watched on the indies and ACW as well. There's this ACW indie tag team. I don't know if you've heard of them, bro. Sent to Slaughter. Sean Donovan and Danny Maff with their manager Josh Chernoff. They are a great heel tag team. They're volatile and they're ruthless with ripping up signs that are against them. And I've gotten into spats with Sean Donovan front row at ACW shows Poughkeepsie multiple times. But I will say, though, I will give them credit. They're very good heels. They know how to garner heel heat. Dude, I was at the ACW show for ACW Reckoning in Poughkeepsie, New York, May 16th. They took out Hale Collins and Vic Delicious of the Now. Shout out to Hale Collins, by the way, who owns ACW, by the way.
Aggression.
I'm sorry?
They have ruthless aggression.
They do. Have you looked them up before? They're that good.
Yeah.
Sent to Slaughter. Like Danny Maff, the bigger guy, and Sean Donovan and their manager, Josh Chernoff. I mean, as much as spats I've gotten into Sent to Slaughter, with Sent to Slaughter, and especially Sean Donovan at Sent to Slaughter, I will give them credit where credit's due. They're very good at what they do, and they're very good heels. They would fit very well in NXT. Like, you talk about a damn good heel team, they'd fit the bill perfectly on NXT. Perfectly. Like, NXT could really use tag team help. So, Enzo and Cass to NXT, I don't mind it whatsoever. And I'm liking, actually, call me nuts. I don't know how you feel. The recent new faces introduced to NXT, I'm liking a little bit what NXT's doing lately with Mason Rook and Nakaru, Cam Hendricks, and they got Lizzie Rain, and then they got the Tristan Angels and Tate Wilder. They got the Vanity Project. I'm liking what they're doing.
Yeah. They certainly know how to introduce new talent.
Mason Rook especially is killing it. I expect him to be NXT champion by the end of the year, honestly. So, but yeah, Enzo and Cass to NXT, that's not a bad idea if you ask me. In fact, I think them to NXT is right now the better move at this time than them to Raw or SmackDown. You have them on Raw or SmackDown. Is there even going to be a plan for them? Like, what are they going to have them do? Wrestle the MFTs, lose the MFTs? Like, because that's exactly what I want to see.
Come on, no. Like, who wants to see Enzo Amore versus Solo Sikoa?
Oh, jeez, man. Yeah, that talk about a channel changer. That's one right there. I don't want. Oh, what about Talo Tonga versus Big Cass?
No.
Give me a fucking break. Please, no. Something that Bruce Pritchard would get a fucking hard on for. My goodness. Moving on.
Oh, Big Cass. Talo Tonga.
Yeah. Big Cass and Talo Tonga. That equals ratings, Bruce. That's good shit, pal. But I do want to bring this up. Mike Santana. Now, this is not much news. I think it's pretty much a given. His TNA deal is up this summer, and WWE has interest. No surprise. This is according to, if I can pull up the article, this is according to, if I can pull it up, it says that according to PW Insider, WWE has shown interest in Mike Santana before, and they're interested in him when his contract expires in July, with Mike Santana's TNA contract about to expire in a few weeks. And now in a few weeks is Slammiversary. I expect Mike Santana to be on that show and do the job. And I think that's his last TNA match before he goes to WWE. And I don't think he goes to AEW. And why would he go back to AEW when they failed him big time the first time? I think he goes to WWE. He goes to NXT for like at least a year, and he's familiar with that. I think WWE gets a very big name in Mike Santana. I think you may think the same way.
Yeah.
And I also heard Leon Slater's name as well, that his TNA deal is coming up too, and WWE and AEW both have interest in Leon Slater as well. Now, Leon Slater, there's a chance he may go to AEW. He's what, 21 years old? There's probably a good chance he goes to AEW first. WWE is always going to be there with Leon Slater no matter what. So maybe he goes to AEW for like a few years and then he goes to WWE because he's 21 years old. That's a big factor to think. Does Leon Slater go to WWE or does he go to AEW? Now, Mike Santana, I think he goes to WWE, but Leon Slater's an interesting one. Though, if he goes to AEW, there's a bunch of, like, there's like 10 or 12 different Leon Slaters in AEW, whereas in WWE, he'd stand out. AEW, he'd feel like a lot of other people. He'd really have to, like, change who he is, like Ricochet turned heel when he came to AEW. So do you think Leon Slater goes to AEW or do you see him in WWE? Because I definitely see Mike Santana in WWE, no questions asked. I think that's a lock at this point.
It would be weird. I mean, obviously, no, who wouldn't want to have interest in Leon Slater, but it would be weird. Not that in the sense that he signs, but in terms of the fact that he was featured on NXT for multiple times. He was at the John Cena retirement show, Saturday Night's main event. Team with Javon Evans against Dragon Lee and AJ Styles.
Yeah.
And then, he challenged not Trick Williams.
Carmelo Hayes.
Oh. Well, there's a match there that I can book. Trick Williams versus Leon Slater.
Yeah, that's a good match.
Yeah. But, he was on SmackDown in London, challenged for the U.S. title.
Yeah, against Carmelo Hayes. This is before the Royal Rumble this year, yeah.
Yeah. Like he was featured in prominent positions in WWE as the X Division champion, no less, of TNA.
Yeah.
Like to do all that, but then they don't end up signing him. Instead, it's AEW that signs him. It'll be weird. Honestly, like if they're putting you in these positions, like they're having you in these positions, like surely they would want you, on NXT and the main roster full time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he ends up in WWE. I mean, why would you put him in these positions just to end up not signing him? Like, it would be so weird.
Yeah, now on the other side, if he goes to AEW, he's also 21 years old. like he has an entire life and career ahead of him. Do you really need to rush him to WWE now? Like, do you have him in AEW for at least 3 or 4 years, have him a little more seasoned, and then come to WWE before he hits 30, and he's probably better off for it?
I mean, it's not that they can't use seasoning. It's that they're putting him in these big positions without being signed to a contract. It's like Joe Hendry, for example, in terms of he was at the Royal Rumble, he was at WrestleMania as the TNA World Champion, and then he ended up signing, full time, and now he's on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
I see a trajectory with Leon Slater. Joe Hendry was also the NXT champion.
But also you got to think about the creative in WWE. Like, look at where they are now. But then again, it's like, I know Triple H has his flaws, and not defending him. He's been playing it safe the past year or so, at least. I mean, no defending that whatsoever. But then again, this is what happens when you have suits and ties to answer to. If WWE had no TKO and Endeavor had absolutely nothing to do with them whatsoever, and WWE was fucking away from Endeavor and TKO, I do think WWE would be a lot better off for it. I do. But the fact that Triple H has to answer these corporate suits and tie assholes at TKO, it's like the fact that, he has to answer these TKO just suits and ties only care about the money and don't give a shit about the product whatsoever. I hate that.
Where do I think Leon Slater goes? I think he ends up in WWE. I think it's a lock. I think the same thing with Mike Santana.
Yeah, Mike Santana is a given, no questions asked. And I think he goes to NXT. If Leon Slater makes the jump to WWE from TNA, I think he goes to NXT as well.
Yeah,
because
if there's any brand that could use help right now, it's NXT.
You have Mason Rook, you have Tony D, and if Tony D's getting called up, I think it only makes sense to bring in at least Mike Santana there.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only thing is if Mike Santana goes to NXT, he can't do the indie shows like ACW or House of Glory anymore. But what a story for Mike Santana, from a tag team guy to a successful single star. And look at where he was in LAX and as LAX tag team in TNA. And look at him in AEW in the Chris Jericho Inner Circle. And then he didn't want to team with Ortiz anymore with LAX and Santana. And man, he proved a lot of people wrong. And look at what Santana's done as a singles guy. Like, he's proved a lot of people wrong that he can do the tag team. Like, he's not a tag team wrestler. He is a singles wrestling star. And look what he's done. Like, Wrestle House of Glory killed it as a singles act. TNA became the world champion. Showed up in WWE, like, paid his dues, blood, sweat, like, put in the work, sacrificed blood, sweat, and tears all these years to finally get on WWE television on the NXT brand from representing TNA last year, and he got a massive pop. And also the fact being a New Yorker guy as well. And Mike Santana is a future piece of WWE for years to come. And I'm sure he'll fucking kill it. And the guy is great. Mike Santana is awesome. I've seen him live, ACW in Poughkeepsie, New York. Mike Santana is fucking good, dude. He's so good. And I'd say maybe who knows, maybe Mike Santana's the NXT champ before he hits the main roster. I would say have him in NXT for at least a year and a half to get his feet wet just a little bit. But yeah, Mike Santana, I think he goes to WWE. And why would he go back to AEW? Look at what Tony Khan fumbled with him the first time. Why would he go back there? Like, can Mike Santana really trust Tony Khan this time around? I don't think so. Just look what Tony did to him.
He never even gave Proud and Powerful the tag titles.
Tony Khan never even gave Mike Santana a fair chance to see what he could do.
Like he was always
now
in
look
a
at
tag
Mike Santana
or a faction.
And look at Mike Santana now. He's wrestled House of Glory. He's been doing great. Wrestled local Northeast indie shows and wrestled ACW and he was pretty much their guy for TNA. The guy has had a great success story. And I look forward to whatever's next chapter is in his wrestling career. I think he goes to WWE, and you know what? I think he fucking kills it. I think I truly believe he's one of their future pieces for years to come. I do. But I'm sure you'd probably think the same thing. And the success story that Mike Santana has truly had. Going from just a tag team guy from basically nothing to where he is now. It's a great story to hear about.
It's absolutely a success story.
You know, everyone thought when he split from Ortiz, it's like, he's worse off on his own. He needs Ortiz. He needs to be in a tag team with Ortiz. Man, did Santana prove a lot of those people wrong.
You saw a lot of people up.
Yep. And the guy can wrestle. He's a very good promo. He's got a great look, a lot of charisma. He's a very good talker. I've heard his promos. The guy's very, very good. I think he has what it takes. I do. Maybe be an NXT champion, then get called to the main roster, at least in the mid-card IC or US champion. Hell, I think the guy is world champion written all over him, to be honest with you. So, we'll see what happens with Mike Santana, but I think he's WWE bound more than anything imminently. And I think TNA Slammiversary is the last TNA match you see of Mike Santana. And probably Leon Slater as well. If Leon Slater does make the jump to WWE or AEW. But
the other thing, though, with Leon Slater, I think he dropped the X Division Championship to Cedric Alexander.
Yes, he did. Yep, I did see that.
Yeah, they had him. They had his reign ended the 298 days.
Yeah, almost beat. What did AJ Styles hold the record for longest reigning TNA X Division champion?
No. It was
Austin
Austin Aries.
Austin Aries.
Yeah, remember him? Yeah, me neither. Yeah, he was
he was in 205 Live. He was a TNA veteran. He was a tag team champion in the X Division and world champion, man. You know, he was about to be in WWE in the early 2010s as a WWE12 as Jacob Cass.
Yeah, and he was an absolute dickhead behind the scenes.
But he left in 2017 after being in the company for a year.
He was fired for a reason.
But they pigeonholed him in the cruiserweight division that was dead in 2017.
It's exactly where he belonged. Who wants to sign this guy anyway?
Didn't he sell a Starship Pain from John Morrison in TNA in like the late 2010s or something?
Yeah, it was the 2018 Bound for Glory, and Austin Aries was the world champion. They had him beat Eli Drake on his first night back.
Former now LA Knight and on Monday Night Raw. Yeah.
Yeah, they give this guy the world title on his first night back, and this is what he does to them. He walks out after the main event match, no selling somebody's finishing move.
Like he gets hit with Starship Pain, he gets pinned by a 3 count with that. Then he gets up immediately after that. No selling.
Yeah.
Because just complete disrespect.
Yeah, he was the X Division champion for 298 days.
Yes. I don't know why I couldn't have had Leon Slater break the record, to be honest.
Yeah.
But what the fuck do I know? They say what? LOL TNA?
It's TNA.
Just like they want to have a pay-per-view Slammiversary the same day as Forbidden Door with AEW.
Yeah, gee, I wonder who's gonna watch one. I wonder which show will be more watched.
Yeah, damn Carlos Silva, LOL TNA. But NXT and TNA are having the same PLE pay-per-view days as Forbidden Door for AEW on June 28th. What are you complaining about? I think it's fucking petty, to be quite honest with you, bro. Why can't you just leave AEW the fuck alone?
Like, how is this helping TNA to have NXT and AEW?
Like, are people going to be talking about TNA more than AEW on June 28th? I don't think so.
Yeah.
LOL TNA at its finest. Oh, but you should talk about TNA more on this show. Nope. No. But you should talk about TNA on More Forbidden Podcast. Nah, I don't think so. No. But moving on to the next topic of discussion, WWE possibly adding new members to the Vision. We've seen it lately on Raw with Maxine Dupree leaving Otis and Akira Tozawa. And now Logan Paul is out with a tricep injury. Can I just say the Vision is dead? It's dead.
They are the most cursed faction in WWE history.
Yeah. Name me a more cursed faction than the Vision. Oh wait.
You can't. You can't. Like Danhausen. He doesn't need to curse the Vision. They cursed themselves a long time ago.
Not. You don't need Danhausen to say you are cursed for the Vision to be cursed. It's been cursed before Danhausen even arrived to WWE. Like Seth Rollins hurt, Braun Breaker hurt, Bronson Reed hurt, now Logan Paul hurt. What's next? Austin Theory getting hurt? I don't wish that on anybody, but I mean, geez, man. This is the most cursed faction in WWE history. Yeah. And now Bronson Reed banged up again, but now this time Lucky? Like what the hell are we doing?
I think you meant Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker, yes, sorry. Thank you.
May as well be Bronson Reed. Like, this faction is fucking cursed.
Now, according to the Observer, take this with a grain of salt, he says that there's talk of adding members to the faction and linked with Logan Paul's recent tricep injury. They're talking about adding new members of this group pretty much. I'm not going to go over much of it. But yeah, like we said, the Vision is dead. If they're adding Maxine Dupree, if they add other new members, who do you think they could probably add? I think, and shout out to Solid Monster, by the way. He came up with this great idea. Shout out to Jason Solomon of the Solid Monster. Shout out to him, by the way. He came up with this great idea of adding a new member of the Vision if they want to do that. Grayson Waller. And now that Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods are not in WWE anymore, Grayson Waller, I think, would be the nice fit for the Vision. I mean, they're not doing anything with him. Why not do something with him and put him in the Vision? And you can get Austin Theory and Grayson Waller tag team back together again. And they also need tag teams on this on WWE programming, on Raw, SmackDown, NXT. They need tag teams. If they want to, and the reports are true, they want to fix their tag division. Why not get Austin Theory, Grayson Waller back together? Honestly, they should have not split up in the first place. You have them back together in the Vision, I think would probably be a plus. And Grayson Waller is too good to be wasted away. I mean, I don't think that's a bad idea to like Grayson Waller added to the Vision. I don't think it's a bad idea, and I actually like that idea a lot.
Question though, like, when was the last time Grayson Waller has been on television?
I think when he got squashed by Obafemi, I think before WrestleMania. I think.
Yeah, like Obafemi, he did one of those open challenges after Mania, and then Grayson Waller.
No, before we got Brock and Alba for Mania. I think it was that.
Yeah. And then they were doing something with him in the New Day, and now Kofi and Xavier are not there. Honestly, if I'm honest, I'm surprised Grayson Waller is even still employed.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I don't want to see anyone lose their job, but yeah.
Like, honestly, I'm surprised he wasn't on the post-WrestleMania chopping block.
Yeah, because Ari and Shapiro need their manias in Vegas. They need to outprice fans. And then when fans don't come, they need to blame it on the talent because Ari and Shapiro can't blame themselves. I mean, they don't know who the fucking Apollo Crews is, but it's like, my God.
Yeah, I'm honestly, this could be aligning with Division. Honestly, this could be the best thing for Grayson Waller. Let's hope he doesn't get struck by the curse, the Division curse. Yeah, but it's like, honestly, being with Division can be the best thing for him, for real. Like, and if they are serious about fixing their tag team division, you could have Austin Theory and Grayson Waller back as a tag team.
Yeah,
and you have, and this is where you have Braun Breaker be the singles guy for the group.
Are you interested in Braun Breaker being a tag team guy?
No. I think he's bigger than me. Honestly, the only guy that he should be teaming up with, honestly, is Bronson.
Yeah. Maybe, but then they don't need to be a tag team, Bronson and Braun. I don't know, man. The Vision group is dead. If I was up to me, if I had the power of the pen, I'd fucking kill the group. Go back, back to the drawing board, move on from it, come up with something else that's better off. The Vision is dead. Dead. Moving on, speaking of groups that would have been dead on arrival, did you hear this story, bro? Listen to this. Listen to this. This is according to Chris Dunn of WWE Scrapped N.W.O Reboot from Public Enemy's podcast. Who? Yeah.
Is that guy Chris Dunn? Is he related to Kevin Dunn?
Yeah, the Beaver. According to Chris Dunn, he says this, quote, the pitch was Sheamus, Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura, and get this, Lars Sullivan. I forgot which legendary N.W.O member was supposed to fly to Orlando to introduce this new N.W.O. Essentially, they landed and they didn't pass the COVID test. This was during the Thunderdome era. Remember that? An era I don't want to relive again. So it was going to be on SmackDown in 2020 during the pandemic, the Thunderdome era. We were going to get a SmackDown N.W.O faction in 2020 of Shinsuke Nakamura, Sheamus, Cesaro, and Lars Sullivan. We were going to get that on SmackDown in 2020. Holy shit. I have no words.
So laughable.
Are you fucking serious? Sheamus, Cesaro, Nakamura, and Lars Sullivan in NWO. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Oh, stop hating on the idea. It could have been something. It's different.
This is a terrible idea.
No, it's not. How is it terrible? Lars Sullivan?
This is an awful, awful, awful idea.
First of all, how would thank God this didn't happen. First of all, how would this have made any sense? And correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Sami Zayn on SmackDown at this time in 2020 with both Cesaro and Nakamura? So how would this make any sense?
So they would turn heel on Sami Zayn just to be in a heel faction.
Unbelievable. Yeah, there are idiots that want Vince McMahon back. Easily, this was a Bruce and Vince idea. Easily. You will never convince me otherwise.
What an absolutely terrible idea.
Holy shit. Imagine if they went with this idea.
That would have killed the NWO stone dead, that's for sure.
No, it wouldn't have. How do you know? This would have been a terrible, terrible idea. Like Sheamus, Lars Sullivan, Cesaro, and Nakamura. Why?
Like how does this make any sense?
Oh, it would have been different. You want something different, you get different, then you still bitch and complain. This is not good.
This is terrible television.
Yeah. And Lars Sullivan was taken off TV with the speaking out movement, and then, yeah, let's just say his past didn't help him, and he got exposed. Then they let him go. Had all the potential in the world, and he fucked up. He's another guy that could have been something he fucked up.
Oh my god, it's unbelievable.
Yet there are clowns out there that want Vince McMahon back in charge. Oh, Triple H sucks, and he's worse than Vince, and let's bring Vince McMahon back. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful
what you wish for.
Exactly. If they would have done this NWO pitch as a reality on SmackDown in 2020, this, like, you thought SmackDown was bad majority of 2020, like, this would have added with that.
Like, which member of the NWO would want to interact with them?
Yeah.
Like Hogan's never going to interact with these people. Like, does Hulk Hogan even know what the fuck a Lars Sullivan is?
Probably not. He's like, I don't know who that, Lars Sullivan. I don't know who that guy is, brother. Yeah. But the original NWO to do a storyline on SmackDown, put over the new NWO. Oh no, that'll work for us, brother. I could already imagine Hogan. I could have imagined Hogan doing that back then.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Can you imagine pitching this idea to Hulk Hogan? Yeah, Hogan. You're gonna be on SmackDown. You're gonna interact with this new NWO faction we came up with. It has guys like Lars Sullivan
and Sheamus and Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh no, that'll work for me, brother. Oh, that'll work for me, brother.
Or can you imagine the? Wasn't Scott Hall having health problems at the time?
I think so. Then he had Kevin Nash at the time as well.
You got three guys over there at Xbox. Hogan, Nash, Hall. Like you got three guys who could barely move at the time.
Yep.
Two of them sadly with Hall and Hogan, who unfortunately are no longer with us, who had major health issues at the time.
Yeah.
Like how are they going to be able to do something on the television show? Like how are they supposed to get this new group over?
Yeah, this would have been this would have been terrible television had they actually gone along with this. Thank God they didn't do this.
Oh,
my God. Yet there are people out there, sick people out there that want Vince McMahon back. Could never be me. Triple H is not perfect, but I would much rather him than Vince McMahon 7 days of the fucking week. Moving on here. Speaking of SmackDown, according, I think, to the Observer as well, SmackDown is supposed to go back to 2 hours in the beginning of July, like last year. June 26th is the last SmackDown this year to be 3 hours. As I think SmackDown July 3rd, Friday, July 3rd is for SmackDown this year, is the SmackDown back to 2 hours. Yes. Thank Hallelujah. God. Yes. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Won't fix or save the show, but does a wrestling show need to be 3 hours week in and week out? Fuck no.
No.
Absolutely not. Literally absolutely not. It is not necessary whatsoever for a show, for any kind of wrestling show, or any show in general, to be 3 hours frequently every single week, week after week after week after week. You could legit dig up Eddie Guerrero and Hulk Hogan out the grave and make them alive again. It still wouldn't save a 3-hour show for SmackDown. You know? Dig up Mr. Perfect and Randy Savage out the grave and make them alive again. Would that still save a 3-hour SmackDown? Absolutely not.
No.
Like 2 hours is the 2-hour format's not going to help or fix or save the show, but I would much rather 2 hours than 3 hours, dude. Seriously. 2.5 hours is a sweet spot. That's why Raw is 2.5 hours on Netflix every week. They're not 3 hours anymore like they used to. But 6 months of 3 hours of SmackDown for the first 6 months last year and this year, and it looks like that's the rest of the USA Network deal next year and the year after, and until 2029 when their USA Network deal's up in the fall of 2029. Like first 6 months of the year, 3 hours, dude. 3 fucking long dragging ass hours of 3 hours of boring SmackDown television for the first 6 months of this year, just like last year, dude.
3 hours of torture. That's what it was.
You don't say. But add new members to help for 3-hour show. They worked with a 2-hour roster even with 3 hours of SmackDown the first half of this year.
Exactly.
Thank God they're going back to 2 hours, but that's not going to help fix or save the show. You know what would? You get rid of the fucking Vince McMahon rats that are still there, unfortunately, like Bruce Pritchard. Yeah, Triple H is head of creative, and, you know, he's the one in charge, but fucking Vince rats like Bruce are still there. And Ed Koskey, Michael Hayes. Until you exterminate every single Vince rat that's there, nothing on SmackDown will change at all. But no wrestling show needs to be 3 hours every single damn week. It's way too much. 2.5 I could do, but 3 hours? It's overkill, dude. It's overkill if you ask me. But, you know, But USA Network likes that third hour. That's why they're 3 hours right now. Well,
USA Network.
It was USA Network's idea for Raw to be 3 hours in 2012. Remember that? Look at how that turned out.
Awful.
But USA Network again loves the third hour. Yeah, fuck USA Network. Like, what do they have anymore? Literally, that is even worth a damn. Like, that channel network is dead. And if USA Network did not have SmackDown, USA Network channel is dead. Dead. You might as well just cancel the TV channel at that point. Like, what do they have outside of SmackDown? Oh, but they have Braun Strowman's Everything on the Menu. That's a good show.
Who watches it?
I'm sorry?
Like, who watches Braun Strowman's Everything is on the Menu?
Oh, but they have Law and Order. They have NCIS. Nothing but reruns all damn day of NCIS and Chicago PD and 911 and Dateline and Law and Order Special Victims Unit all fucking day long. When you have reruns of a show all damn day, all day during a day of the week, you know a certain TV channel network is dead. When you have nothing but Law and Order reruns all day long and all night long, you know USA Network channel is dead, and they have nothing going for them. It's literally on life support. If they didn't have SmackDown, US Network has fuck all. You will never convince me otherwise. And I don't care who I piss off or make upset or angry. Those are facts. Anything else to say on this dude?
No, I say that thank God it's moving to 2 hours. It's gonna take more than that, but I would rather see a 2-hour television show than a 3-hour television show.
Yeah. Fuck USA Network. It was their idea for SmackDown to be 3 hours in the first place. But speaking of Friday nights, there is a trade. Finn Bálor apparently has been traded to SmackDown, and apparently Backstage News, I have a report on why Finn Bálor was moved to SmackDown. It says this, according to report. Now this is coming from who is this coming from? I think this is coming from the Observer. Now again, take him with a grain of salt. Dave Meltzer says WWE just wanted to get Finn Bálor away from Dominic Mysterio in the Judgment Day, now that their Raw feud is done and over with. And they feel, he says, creative feels that Bálor could be a nice change of scenery as well. Pretty much is what the report says right then and there. So, there we go. There's my computer. But yeah, Finn Bálor is now on SmackDown. He's not on Raw anymore. He's away from Dominic, away from McDonough, away from the Judgment Day. He's away from them. His feud of the Judgment Day is done and over with. And after that street fight with McDonough and Bálor had to be done with the Judgment Day at that point. And I'm glad he's moved on from the Judgment Day, to be quite honest with you. Now, I was thinking Finn Bálor in the IC title picture on Raw would be nice, but him on SmackDown, I don't mind the move, honestly. And when looking at the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring brackets, they begun this past Monday on Raw, by the way. King and Queen of the Ring begun this past Monday on Raw. You look at the men's King of the Ring brackets. One of the brackets is Finn Bálor's on the one side of the brackets and had a blue lining coloring around his render. And everyone thought he was a Raw guy. It's like he's traded to SmackDown. Everyone came with the speculation he's traded to SmackDown. Lo and behold, it was during a commercial this past Monday on Raw on Netflix. They announced that Bálor was indeed traded to SmackDown. What do you think of this move? Because, I mean, if you want to get my opinion, do I like Finn Bálor traded to SmackDown? Do I like this move? Yes, I do. I feel like he's been on Raw for 5 years. He's done everything. He's away from the Judgment Day, which is a good thing. He could factor into IC title plans, but he doesn't factor into world title plans. He's not beating Roman for the world title, where he could probably fare better on SmackDown. There's the U.S. title. There's the match with Trick Williams, match with Ilya Dragunov, wherever he's back. Carmelo Hayes. Bálor, you can insert him anywhere, even the WWE title picture. Bálor and Cody is a match I'd like to see. Bálor versus Gunther. One fresh match that has never been done, I would love to see, and I hope they do it. Finn Bálor versus Randy Orton. That would be something. Like, sign me up for that. Finn Bálor, there's Damian Priest there. There's R-Truth. There's Finn Bálor and Ricky Saints over there as well. I think there's more. And then if CM Punk comes back to SmackDown, there's that as well. Bálor versus Cody. Bálor Punk, like I mentioned. Something along those lines. I may be missing some names. Let me know if I am. But yeah, I like this move actually with Finn Bálor SmackDown having a nice change of scenery, fresh coat of paint with Bálor now moved to Friday nights. I don't hate this move at all. I actually like this. And good on WWE. This is the right move for Finn Bálor to move to SmackDown. And he's away from the Judgment Day. So I don't know how you feel about it, bro, but I don't hate this move at all. In fact, I think it's the right move. And Balor's pretty much done everything on Raw. He's been on Raw for 5 years. He had to move to SmackDown. I don't hate the move at all. I think it's good. And trying to freshen things up on SmackDown, I like that. So, I'm not sure how you feel about that, bro. Oni's muted. I don't know what happened. Uh-oh. Anything happened to his mic? I don't know what happened.
I think it's a good move.
There you go. I thought someone hacked the system. I thought maybe USA Network hacked our system.
Yeah. They are jealous.
Very jealous. But Finn Balor's SmackDown, I think it's the right move at the end of the day.
I think it's a good move, and I think he could use a fresh start.
Yeah. He's away from Dom and the Judgment Day, which is good. He could be doing the IC title stuff on Raw, but that would be about it. Is he really beating Roman for the world title? I don't think so.
No.
What are you going to do? Just have him wrestle Roman only to lose? He's not like, you put him in a situation where he's not going to win that. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And Balor's been having momentum lately.
Honestly, there's more for him to do on SmackDown than there is on Raw so far.
Yeah. I mentioned Finn Bálor versus Randy Orton. That's a big match that's never been done before, and something I'd love to see.
Absolutely.
Bálor and Orton, Bálor and Cody. I'd even say Bálor and Cody for the WWE Championship would be something too. Bálor and Gunther, another banger match. Bálor versus CM Punk if Punk shows back to SmackDown. Punk and Bálor. They had great battles on Raw earlier this year going to the Chamber in Chicago in February. That was great stuff. Finn Bálor, there's Damian Priest there. There's R-Truth, Rhea Ripley, the OG Judgment Day members there. There's Ricky Saints, Trick Williams. Finn Balor's a former U.S. champion. He's never been WWE champion, though, but he's a former United States champion. Bálor versus Dragunov is another match as well.
Bálor Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah. There's more for Bálor on SmackDown than there is on Raw, so I actually like this move a lot. And with Bálor being traded to SmackDown, who could you see traded for Bálor? Because I think I have an idea who could be traded for Bálor. I think this would make sense. Oh, but male for female? Who cares? Finn Bálor traded for Julia. And did you see Julia this past Monday on Raw? Looking how happy she was to be there. Yes, she was pinned in the Queen of the Ring first run by EO. I could have had Lash Legend pin, but what the fuck do I know, right? His Lash Legend is terrible. I'm sorry. She's trash Legend. But I mean, because she is trash. But yeah, but Julia looked so happy and rejuvenated on Raw. I would say move Finn Bálor for Julia. I think you probably think the same thing. Or who would you move for Finn Bálor if not Julia?
Honestly, I think it's a good trade.
Oh, but it's male for female? Who cares?
Who gives a shit? Like, what is Julia doing on SmackDown anyway?
Nothing. Oh, but she's with Kiana James. Honestly, I don't think she needs Kiana James. I think Kiana's just holding her. I think the pairing with Kiana's just holding her down.
Yeah.
Like, someone on the SmackDown creative team clearly does not like Julia.
Like what? She lost to Chelsea Green on roll up.
Don't even get me started on that. That was terrible.
Yeah, this is the one where we had the Road Dogg saying after, what happens if we put the U.S. title on the Chelsea Green? He says, well, I don't know.
Yeah. Remember that?
This is your SmackDown writing team.
Oh, but Triple H is head of creative. He gives the yes or no. It's on him. That's true. He is head of creative, and it is on him. But you still got fucking Vince Rat still there, and as long as they're still there, existing on that SmackDown team, nothing will change. But yeah, Julia could also use a nice change of scenery. Definitely get her to Raw. Look how happy she was on Raw in Italy this past Monday. She felt more better. Like, she felt more better in one night on Raw this past Monday than her entire time on SmackDown. What does that tell you?
She was more over in one night than she was in a year.
And Julia is from Japan, but she's also Italian as well.
I think her father is Italian.
Yes.
And her mother is Japanese.
Mm-hmm. But she looked so happy to be there on Raw Monday, dude. It was like a completely different person night and day.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know? I would absolutely move Julia to Raw. Get her away from Kiana James. Get her away from SmackDown. You have EO there. Julia and EO. You can do Julia and Stephanie Vetcare when she's back. There's a story in history there. I'd love to see that. Julia versus Lyra. Julia versus Bailey. Julia and Roxanne. Julia, Liv Morgan. Julia, Raquel Rodriguez. A lot more to do for Julia on Raw than it is SmackDown. A lot more for Bálor to do on SmackDown than is Raw. I think that's a very even trade. Bálor for Julia. Oh, but what about the draft? I don't think you need the draft. Just do trades or a transfer window. Like the draft concept to me is kind of dead in 2026. And the 2024 draft, the way they did it, was fucking terrible. It was not good at all. And clearly WWE does not know how to do a draft. So if they want to have no more drafts, I'd be okay with that, honestly. Just do trades or transfer windows once or twice a year. I think that's the way to go about it. But yeah, Finn Balor for Julia, I think is an even trade if you ask me. I don't think you can get better than that. So it would help the Raw women's division because SmackDown's women's division, before WrestleMania, Raw had the better women's division. Now, after Mania, the tides changed, the tables turned, and now SmackDown coming out of Mania has the better women's division compared to Raw. And if you move Julia over to Raw, I think that would definitely help Raw in the women's division for sure, no questions asked. Get Stephanie Vetcare back. Vetcare versus Julia on Raw. I'd love to see that. Like I said, Julia and Roxanne. Julia versus Lyra would be a great match as well. Julia and Lyra, Julia and Bailey. Julia and Becky Lynch is another one. Julia and AJ Lee when she's back. Julia versus Sol Ruca for the IC title would be a banger. A banger, I tell you. I think Julia is more better fit for Raw than SmackDown, to be honest. So I really hope with Bálor traded to SmackDown, hopefully with Bálor now on SmackDown, I'm hoping Bálor is traded for Julia because I think that would be the right way to do things and be an even trade. So let us know what you guys think on that in the comments right there down below. Now, moving on to the next topic of discussion here on the podcast, I want to get your thoughts on this. Carl is muted again. I don't know if something hacked in the system again. Oh, there we go. Is USA Network still in our system, bro?
Maybe. I actually put it on mute.
But moving on to the next topic of discussion, I want to talk about this. Might as well stay on the King and Queen of the Ring topics. King and Queen of the Ring. Or actually, no. Let's do this. El Grande Americano versus the original Grande Americano, May 30th AAA show. I watched this show. My God, this was awesome. And shout out to everybody who did a fantastic job on Saturday, May 30th, including Mark Calloway, The Undertaker. This was great. This was really, really good stuff. War Raiders are the new AAA Tag Team Champions. Vikingo is the new Latin American Champion. Ray Phoenix is a new AAA Cruiserweight Champion. And we got Kaiser Americano beating Gable Americano. This was match of the whole weekend, so much so. WWE with Raw and Netflix aired it again, that match specifically, right after Raw this past Monday. And this was great, great stuff. Tons of great spots. You had both guys busted open, especially Gable with the mask all busted open, bleeding like a stump pig. And Kaiser Americano won this match eventually. Banger match. This is going up as match of the year candidate. It could very well win match of the year of 2026 by the time 2026 is over, to be honest with you. And then Gable unmasked. He was all bloody, bleeding profusely. His family was there. The original Grande Americano unmasked as Chad Gable. Now Chad Gable is back. Yes, Chad Gable. Shoes, thank you. The Gracias Shoes, thank you, is now back unmasked. Gracias, your shoes, thank you. Yes. But yeah, this was an absolute, and I mean an absolute banger, dude. Your thoughts?
I'll say words can't do this justice. I mean, this was phenomenal. Like everything about it was absolutely phenomenal. Like the feud, the match, the entrances, the presentation,
the story,
the crowd, the story. Like it was phenomenal.
The video packages, the hype video packages to get you more pumped and excited, to get you to care. Video packages come such a long way.
Yeah, Gable, being the dastardly heel, Kaiser, being the over baby face.
I think had his wife or girlfriend involved too.
Yeah, and we had the Los Americanos, had Rayo and Bravo.
Yeah, taking each other on the outside. That was great. Chad Gable and both Americanos trying to unmask each other before the match was over, and both were bleeding, especially Gable. You see the blood coming out of half-ripped mask with the blood pouring out. It was crazy.
It's actually crazy how this. It's actually crazy how long it's crazy how this El Grande character just it's taken a life of its own.
It was originally goofy, but man, that turned into gold.
Yeah, like it starts with Chad Gable, like he's obviously the original.
He's trying to study the art of lucha libre against Penta and all. When Penta arrived to Raw and WWE last year.
Yeah, he studies the art of lucha libre and saying, "I am not El Grande Americano," and even though he's saying "gracias,"
yes,
like who. And he's pointing his two fingers up the air, both of his hands. Like, who used to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he beats Ray Phoenix at WrestleMania. Then he's in Money in the Bank. Like, and you do these AI images, showing, El Grande Americano over the decades, over the centuries. It's actually the one-time use of AI where I actually found it amusing. It was actually humorous.
Yeah.
Chad Gable is a funny guy. But then obviously, Gable got hurt when he was getting the push.
Shoulder injury. And then it was going to be, I think it was supposed to be one of the matches at SummerSlam in MetLife in New Jersey last year. Chad Gable's with Grande Americano versus Penta in a mask versus mask, and the loser would unmask. And I think Gable's going to lose an unmask.
Yeah.
But then Gable got hurt. Shoulder injury. He was out till the Rumble this year. And then he saw Ludwig Kaiser and back in the background, and he took the gimmick and made it his own to where he's so over in AAA today. Honestly, and don't wish injury on anybody, but it's like, look what the injury for. I mean, it sucks Gable got injured, but look what it did for Ludwig Kaiser.
Honestly, like it's just saying, like one moment, just saying how one moment could change, everything. It could change the trajectory of someone's career.
Yeah.
Like let's say Gable doesn't get hurt. And the Grande character, continues as it was, and they go, and the original plans go through with Gable and Penta. Like, I'm not sure where Ludwig Kaiser will be at right now. Like, honestly, if I'm being honest, like the guy will be on a budget cut list.
Yeah, Ludwig Kaiser would have probably been released. Oh, but that wouldn't have happened. You think Ari Emanuel Mark Shapiro give a fuck?
Please, they don't know who the fuck Ludwig Kaiser is. Like when was the last time he was on television? Like, what? He was taken off television after he made a tweet about Charlotte. He was saying that Kaiser was in her DMs.
Yeah.
Like, he was off television.
Yep.
Like, he would have ended up like Giovanni Vinci. Remember him? He would probably end up on a release list.
But let it play out. Give him a chance. He had the Italian video packages, and then he wasn't ready with a rub from Apollo Crews on SmackDown in late 2024. It's a story. Let it play out.
Yeah, what happened?
He lost in 4 seconds. He lost every match he had on SmackDown. He lost to, get this, Apollo Crews, Luke Gallows, Baron Corbin. Yeah, that's what they thought, that Giovanni Vinci.
But let it play out.
Yeah, sure thing, buddy.
And then he got released in February 2025, last year. Now he's Fabian Eichner in TNA, which I think is great.
Yeah. Honestly, Kaiser was probably exactly what happened to Kaiser. Like what would he be right now?
I could see Fabian / Giovanni back in WWE one day. I don't think he should have been let go in the first place.
He was never given a chance.
No. And if you want, and when Kaiser is done with the Americano gimmick, if you want to get a tag team back together, Kaiser and Vinci of Imperium. I don't know why they broke them up last year 2 years ago in the first place. That was fucking stupid.
Yeah. Like what did Kaiser do after?
Oh, well, it was the Tiffany Stratton thing. That's why they got broke up.
Tiffany Stratton confirmed that was all not true.
Yeah, I think that and Eichner, he said the same thing, and he's actually still friends with Kaiser.
I would love to know whose idea that was to break them up. I don't know who that be. I'd love to be a fly in the wall on that one.
I would love to know who Fabian Eichner pissed off, better yet, to get the burial he got. Like, what did he do so bad?
It's probably Triple H or something.
I have a good feeling it was Michael Hayes or Bruce Pritchard. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, but to get back to Kaiser, like, if that Jack Gable injury if Gable never gets hurt and the El Grande thing ended, like, I don't know where he'd be at right now. He may not even be with the company.
True.
But then, he took this character, because originally, he was doing the whole silly thing. He was trying to do the gracias. He trying to do Jack Gable's entrance.
Olay.
Yeah. Then they changed the music. They changed the gear. He became a babyface. He became fluent in Spanish.
New finisher of that running headbutt with the metal plate.
Yeah, he embraced, the Mexican culture, the people.
Yeah.
Showed respect to Lucha Libre. Like, it's crazy how over he got this character. Like this should not have worked.
And I heard Pete Dunne actually produced that match at AAA.
Like, it's actually insane when you think about it. There's a character that had a shelf life. It should not have lasted this long. And it has transformed into the most over thing in Mexico. And it has elevated both.
And in not just AAA, not just WWE, but in wrestling.
Yeah, and it has and it's basically got both, and it has gotten both guys over.
Undertaker basically turned something from chicken shit to delicious chicken salad.
Yeah,
that's basically what happened here. That's what Mark Calloway did, and shout out to him and everybody involved from AAA May 30th that did such a great job. They all deserve they definitely deserve very, very much credit.
Yeah, and Pete Dunne, he produced a match. I wonder though, how was he able to produce a match that had Rayo Americano getting involved? Like, how could he be?
Yeah,
I mean, we all know Rayo Americano. I mean, I think he's
Pete Dunne.
He resembles Pete Dunne, you may say.
And Bravo is Tyler Bate.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now Chad Gable is back. And, man, he looks in the best shape of his life.
Yeah, he cut that promo, explained, he's why he became on Grande. And he passed the torch, from the original on Grande to Kaiser.
He had Chad Gable's family there as well.
Yeah,
his kids, his
and
wife.
Got the respect of Mexican fans. Like just look at this, especially Chad Gable. He comes into the building. You had the fans throwing shoes at him.
Yeah,
he got so much heat, and by the end of it, he became a babyface because the work that he put in as the original Grande. From the match to the heel work, to getting Kaiser over. Accepting defeat.
Mm-hmm. But what I will say, though, with Chad Gable now back, and you have him back on Raw, you know what I would do for SummerSlam? Penta versus Chad Gable for the IC title in Minneapolis, and you give Chad Gable the IC title in his hometown of Minneapolis. And there's a story there.
Please. I think the last time, I think Gable was hurt already by the time they did the Penta segment, but you could say storyline, it was Penta responsible. Who took Gable, Penta is responsible for why we got Kaiser Americano.
That would be perfect. I love that. And they were supposed to wrestle at last year's SummerSlam with Gable's Americano, but Gable got hurt. Now they could have it finally this time at this year's SummerSlam. They say everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I would absolutely have that as one of the matches for this year's SummerSlam in Minneapolis, bro. Penta, Chad Gable, IC title. You give Gable the IC title. And I think it's about time we put some singles gold around the waist of Chad.
He's red hot right now. He's red hot right now. Coming out of this match, why can't you pull the trigger?
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
And for Kaiser,
Ricky also says I can see Chad Gable and the Creeds rocking up backstage on a Raw or SmackDown, and will just feel like everyone else. Well, if they're on Raw, they'll be fine. If they're on Raw, they'll be fine. SmackDown's just the worst show on TV, but on Raw, they'll be fine. Yeah. And that IC title picture's looking pretty stacked. You get Chad Gable there, now we're cooking.
And I need a Chad Gable versus a Javon Evans.
Yes. When Sheamus comes back, Chad Gable and Sheamus for the IC title, and Sheamus tries to win the
how
IC
would
title.
Javon Evans, though, be able to take a suplex? How would he be able to take a suplex? Gable.
I have no idea, but it'd be something. Chad Gable versus Rusev. Chad Gable versus Ethan Page. I'm telling you, the IC title picture looks pretty stacked on Raw.
With Kaiser and with the Americano, it's obvious. He has to be the mega champion. He has to win it at Triple Mania.
It's this September. I think they're doing one. It's a 2-night show. One of the nights is in Las Vegas, the next night in Mexico City.
Yeah. Night 1 is Las Vegas, and night 2 is in Mexico. I think they do the match with Dom in Mexico, and you have Kaiser become the AAA World Champion.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they want to, Gable did say that he doesn't know when, but he will be back in AAA again.
Mm-hmm.
If Judgment Day, it's an easy layup there. Judgment Day, they interfere, they try to help Dom retain, and then there's Chad Gable running to make the save. He helps out Americano to win the Mega Championship.
You could do that. You could probably do that, but you have Dominic and Kaiser Americano for the AAA Mega Championship this September. You have Dominic drop the title of Kaiser Americano there.
Yeah.
I think you do that.
Just look where Grande is. Look where Kaiser is. Like he's got this character over. He's like, don't they have a wall of him in Mexico?
I think they do.
Yeah, I think. Someone remind me. He's like a national hero there.
Yes.
Strike while the iron is hot.
Exactly. So I think it's the direction they go, but man, the Americanos match was a banger. It's going up there for match of the year candidate end of this year, no questions asked. But this was really great stuff. Fantastic stuff. Ricky also says, did you catch what Reigns said about Cody at Clash? I did see that. Now, that being said, with Seth and Roman, I think Seth wins King of the Ring. We get Seth and Roman for the world title at SummerSlam. Roman could retain, but if we have Crown Jewel and Saudi or whatnot this fall, champion versus champion, what if we get Cody Roman 3 for the Crown Jewel champion versus champion for the men's side and the women's side? Rhea women's champion versus Io, the women's world champion. Io Sky wins Queen of the Ring. We get Io take the world title off Liv at SummerSlam. Io and Rhea this fall, Crown Jewel and Saudi or whatnot for the women's champion versus champion match. There's a story there where Rhea's never beaten Io. And you do Cody and Roman as well. I think that'd be stacked for Crown Jewel this fall. I actually like that.
Absolutely.
But speaking of the King Queen of the Ring, right before that, Clash in Italy, real quick. What did you think of Clash in Italy?
I thought it was a good show.
Was it better than the AAA May 30th show? No, but it was a good show, but there was just no excitement. Everything just felt safe coming out of that show. Roman Reigns beat Jacob Fatu when I think Fatu should have won. Then Fatu acknowledging Roman Reigns. And now we have the bloodline back with Jacob Fatu with the Usos and Roman. Yeah, I'm excited for that one, said no one ever. Cody Rhodes beats Gunther with Gunther's feet on the underneath the rope, and then it's like it was just at least protects Gunther. I think we get Cody and Gunther again at Saudi, and hopefully Gunther wins a title there. I love Cody Rhodes, but am I the only one who feels he doesn't need to be champion at all? I like Cody Rhodes, but he's the face of the company. He doesn't need to be champion to prove that. He could use a break from the title picture for a while, to be honest. And when Randy comes back, Cody and Randy, to me, doesn't need the championship. I would seriously give Gunther the championship in Saudi at Night of Champions. That has to happen. Gunther can't lose.
Yeah, the finish as well, like he was botched.
Yeah.
Was it supposed to, I think it was supposed to be clean, and then Cody just forgot?
I don't know what the hell happened. It was botched.
Cody hits the crossroads. Gunther's leg is blatantly, it's obviously on the bottom rope, and then Cody just pulls the leg at the 3 count.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
It's just a messy finish.
And then you had, what else you have? Sol Ruka and Becky Lynch for the IC title. That was good. And Sol Ruka's the new IC champion. I like that move because I think Becky should be in the world title picture on Raw in the women's division there. But, I mean, happy for Sol Ruka.
Hit the Soul Snatcher.
She didn't botch it or slip. Honestly, I think Sol Ruka, she can't do so much 99% high-flying aerial offense.
I mean, at least, she hit the Soul Snatcher, right? But there's also, I think there was a spot in the match where she was going for a springboard, a handspring springboard, but then she almost fell on the rope.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, there's kinks to be ironed out with her. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know if it's an injury, or she's maybe she's feeling too much pressure because she's on the main roster.
I have no idea. But...
And I think there's a spot there. I think there was also a spot where Becky, she was. I think it was caught on camera too. Where Becky's going for the leg drop, she's guiding Sol Ruka to be in position.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's gonna need guidance, to get better on the main roster. And I think she'll be fine, but it's gonna take a while for her to adjust.
And now Sol Ruka's the IC champion. I don't hate that move. And now she's teasing something with Lyra Valkyria over the IC title, which I like.
Yeah,
it's a banger match.
Yeah,
but
that could be good. Honestly, this could be what Sol Ruka needs right now. Maybe a match with Lyra, maybe a match with Bayley.
Yeah. They teased something backstage just past Monday Raw with Lyra, Bayley, and Sol Ruka. And now Becky Lynch. Do we see something with her and Jessica Carr maybe in the summer? Maybe.
Maybe that's the SummerSlam match.
Probably. We'll see what
happens. This year's gone on for a while now. It's gotta pay off at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. We also had Rhea Ripley beat Jade Cargill to retain the women's championship. What'd you think of this? And was this better than a WrestleMania match?
I would say it's slightly lower. I would say their Mania match was much better. As I think about it. I mean, the match was all right.
It was all right, I guess. But
yeah,
there was another botch where B-Fab botched in this as well to try and put Jade Cargill's foot on the rope to help save Jade Cargill from losing. That was botched.
Yeah, Jade had to put the rope herself. Yeah, Jade Cargill, she had to put her feet on the rope herself because B-Fab forgot.
Yeah, I'm like, are you?
What is it with these botches? What is going on with these botches recently?
The most simplest of things. How do you fuck that up?
It's fitting, actually. Their faction name is called the Baddies. Yeah, B-Fab is so bad.
Yeah, because Jade Cargill and the Baddies are the Baddies.
You mean the not so baddies?
Yeah, they are. She's so bad. Like, how do you botch it? What are the easiest?
But they're the baddies. They're bad.
Yeah, they're bad. Oh yeah, they're bad. All right. So much so they botched the simplest of things.
Like literally, the simplest of spots, putting somebody's feet on the ropes. Hey, you can't even do this right. Like, how is that possible?
Like, I don't know how you managed to screw something so simple like that up. It's nearly impossible to botch that. And to botch that says a lot, and that's a big problem. And then, I know mistakes happen, but I mean, to screw something like so simple like that up should not be happening. My God. But Rhea Ripley retained, as she should. Nobody wants to see Jade Cargill's women's champion again.
Yeah, we had Charlotte, she interfered.
Yeah.
She took out the two scrubs.
And Charlotte cost Jade the championship pretty much.
And then Jade, she hit Jaded, and then Charlotte put Rhea's foot on the rope.
Yeah, Charlotte didn't botch there, but B-Fab managed to somehow botch.
Like, literally, how could Charlotte be able to do that same spot better than you? Literally the same spot, and yet somehow Charlotte does it better.
And Charlotte saved us all from another Jade Cargill women's title reign. I never thought I'd see this. I'd actually cheer thank you, Charlotte. I never thought I'd see the day. And I've been a big Charlotte Flair, big detractor for a long time, and I never thought I'd see the day. Charlotte Flair, of all people, saving us from another Jade Cargill reign of terror. Who would have thought? Now we get Queen of the Ring. Charlotte and Jade are in the same bracket, in the same fatal four-way first-round match for this year's Queen of the Ring. I think Charlotte goes to the semis. We get Charlotte and Becky in the semis. Charlotte could very well win the Queen of the Ring. We get Rhea and Charlotte at SummerSlam. I would not mind that at all. But then you got to think, where does Jade Cargill? You can leave her off the card. They could do either Charlotte and Jade or Charlotte and Rhea at SummerSlam. Either one, I'm good with.
They've been teasing the Rhea or Charlotte again.
Yeah, it could have been at WrestleMania this year, but we got Rhea.
And yeah, Charlotte was in the 8-woman tag. The 4-way tag. I don't know what you do with Jade. Maybe Jade versus Alexa? Maybe?
Probably.
Although I'm not sure if it's a big match for SummerSlam. But I mean, if you want to run the card, who knows?
Or do you do it the SmackDown before SummerSlam?
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
But then we got Brock Lesnar and Obafemi, a 6-minute, 21-second match at Clash in Italy, and Brock Lesnar won. He won with 6 F5s, 6 or 7 F5s, one through the announce table. This was probably better than their WrestleMania match, but I know some people are upset that Brock Lesnar won.
Obafemi won in decisive fashion at Mania. He loses to Brock and Clash in Italy. What the fuck was the point of Oba winning at WrestleMania? Like, what the fuck, WWE? Brock didn't need to win here. Brock winning does nothing in 2026. Obafemi got buried. He should have won over.
All this nonsense.
You name it. You lost to 6 or 7 F5s. It protects Obafemi. I don't know how you can get better than that. Oba didn't lose. And look at the next night, King of the Ring starting, and Oba Femi won his first round fatal 4-way, beating Penta, Carmelo Hayes, and Solo Sikoa. And Oba looked even stronger there.
Oba Femi's buried.
Sure
thing.
Yeah, like, because buried means you're beating Solo Sikoa, Penta, and Carmelo Hayes, right?
Yeah, advancing
you're going
to the
the King of the Ring
semifinals.
semifinals, yeah. And he calls out Brock Lesnar as well. What did you think of this with Brock and Oba part 2 at Clash in Italy? And do we get a part 3?
Honestly, I thought it was much better than their the WrestleMania match, honestly. And it went even longer too.
Yeah. I agree.
Honestly, the loss to Lesnar may have been a blessing for Oba Femi.
Like, and we talked about this the other day. Like,
Oba Femi can't lose.
Is it really a good idea to have someone like Oba Femi or any wrestler in general go undefeated for like a long, long time?
No.
Is it really healthy to do that for a wrestler? No, it's not normal, not healthy. You're booking yourself into a corner at that point.
Oba can't lose.
Like, who was he gonna lose to? Like if he went undefeated for a year, like who was he gonna lose to?
Exactly. At some point, a wrestler needs to go through adversity, and when someone loses, they go through a character change. You got to have adversity. Oba had no adversity. Now he kind of does.
Like Bill Goldberg was undefeated for a year in WCW, and how did his streak end?
Oh, but Goldberg came to WWE, and he wasn't the same as he was in WCW. He was booked strong in WCW, better there than WWE. He comes to WWE less than a year. He's in a world title match at SummerSlam in the Chamber, and they fucking buried him. And then the next month, at Unforgiven 03, he beat Triple H for the world title. Goldberg winning wasn't as impactful, and you killed Goldberg's fucking momentum. You know, you buried Goldberg at SummerSlam. It's just the same thing here.
I hear all these excuses, dude. Literally, with that.
How did Goldberg's streak end again at WCW?
Was
it by some devastating move? Was it after some grueling, wrong, epic match?
Nope. It was a taser. A fucking taser.
A fucking stone hole taser. He got tased, and this is how he lost.
At least
1 year undefeated, and one taser beats him.
But in WWE, he lost to another object, the sledgehammer.
Great job, though. Thank God.
But he lost to a sledgehammer at SummerSlam in 03.
He wasn't undefeated for a year.
But at SummerSlam 03, you killed Goldberg's momentum.
What momentum? Yeah, the momentum of a guy who was on the who only signed a 1-year contract.
Yeah, he was on the roster like at the point, not even 6 months.
Yeah.
If anything, and then the next month he won an Unforgiven, beat Triple H for the world title, Unforgiven 03. People were still crazy when Goldberg won.
Yeah.
Oba Femi's buried, though.
Yeah, right.
Here's another example of an undefeated wrestler for a year. Jade Cargill in AEW. How many years was she undefeated? 3 years?
Yep.
What did this do for her? Sure,
Nothing.
she won the TBS championship. But what did this do for her? How did it benefit her? Did it benefit her in any which way? No.
Absolutely not.
If anything, it stifled her.
Yeah. You do this to Oba Femi, it stifles Oba Femi. I'm actually glad he lost the Brock. Now he goes to adversity.
You know how she lost, by the way, right? You know how she lost her undefeated streak to Stylander? 50 seconds. 50 seconds is how she lost.
Stupid.
Yeah. So much for an undefeated wrestler. Yeah, this is how you end undefeated streaks. Losing in 50 seconds and you lose to a taser.
My goodness.
Oba Femi's buried, though.
Oh my God! He kicked out of 6 F5s. He escaped a Kimura lock.
And one of the F5s through the announce table. And he got about what, count of 7, like nothing. Like Oba gets immediately up from the put down announce table, like that. Yeah, but Oba Femi's buried though, right? Yeah, right. Sure thing, buddy. Sure thing.
Undefeated characters in 2026 do not work.
But certain people have to be protected and can't lose.
Yeah, how does that work?
But Roman can't lose. Cody can't lose. These other top acts can't lose.
What does that do for a product?
If anything, it harms the product. It harms the talent.
That makes the product feel so safe, and it ruins the product. My God. Oba losing, I'm not mad about, and I don't think I don't think it was the right Oba losing. I don't think it's the wrong move at all. If anything, this does more good than bad for Oba. Now he goes to adversity and a little character change. Like, imagine Oba been undefeated, then he gets Roman at Mania next year for the world title, and Roman wins. What would that do for Oba? That's another thing people don't fucking think about.
Like how is he gonna lose his undefeated streak? Then, like, how is he gonna lose what? To a roll up,
or like a spear, like a spike spear, super kick spear? Yeah, yeah. Where have I seen that one before?
Yeah.
My God. But Oba Femi the next night on Raw wins the first round King of the Ring Fatal 4-Way advance to the semifinals. He beats IC champion Penta, Carmelo Hayes, and Solo Sikoa and Carmelo Hayes. This was actually very good. And Oba went over, and I'm actually glad that was the right move, and I'm glad he won. And he pinned Solo Sikoa, by the way.
Oh, how could you say that? Sikoa got pinned. Bullshit. Why couldn't it have been anybody else?
Cry more, MFT fans. Cry more.
Who wants to see Solo Sikoa win King of the Ring, people?
Yeah, any MFTs on TV in general. But Oba won. He cut a promo saying that, Brock, I'm not done with you. And he called out Brock again. We're getting Brock and Oba part 3 for sure. Probably at SummerSlam. I don't know about Saudi because it's big money pay for Brock. We'll see. But Oba Femi's in the semis. I think it's Braun Breaker. I think Braun Breaker goes to the finals because of help from Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. That's what I think. But, yeah, the King and the Queen of the Ring begins. Oba advances. He gets either Braun Breaker, Trick Williams, Damian Priest. I think if I have the tournament brackets right here, I can pull them up. This right here. He either gets Damian Priest, Trick Williams, Braun Breaker, or Dominic Mysterio. I think Braun Breaker makes the semis to wrestle Oba Femi. The second half of the King of the Ring, Rollins, Javon Evans, Tala Tonga, Ricky Saints. I'm going Seth Rollins. Jey Uso, LA Knight, Royce Keys, Finn Balor. I am actually going to go wild card LA Knight. Yeah, we get LA Knight and Seth Rollins in the semis. And other half semis, Oba versus Braun. And we get Braun and Seth in the finals in the King of the Ring. And Seth wins King of the Ring. For the Queen of the Ring, though, I will say this. I think we get for the Queen of the Ring, we had Io advance beating Roxanne Perez, Julia, and Lash Legend. Io Sky goes to semis. I think she faces JC Jane, who beats Bailey, Raquel Rodriguez, and Kiana James. Io and JC in the semis. The other half of the semis, Becky and Charlotte, where Becky beats Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, and Chelsea Green, and Charlotte beats Jade, Lyra Valkyria, and Sol Ruka. I'd love to know why Liv Morgan's the women's world champion, the Queen of the Ring, but what the fuck do I know, right? But what are your thoughts on the whole King and Queen of the Ring brackets and overall?
I mean, so far, they're going with the right winners so far. Io qualified, obviously. Oba qualified.
Yeah.
I expect Seth and Braun, Becky, Charlotte qualifying. JC Jane. I'm gonna go with Finn Balor qualifying as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go the megastar L.A. Knight. Yeah, but Balor doesn't eat the pin. You know who I say eats the pin here, bro? I think L.A. Knight pins Yeet Man, Jey Uso, to go to semis.
Please.
Yes. Yeah. Seth Rollins and L.A. Knight in the King of the Ring semis. And who knows? Maybe L.A. Knight wins the King of the Ring. I'm making a bold prediction because no one's calling it.
Come on, be realistic, bro.
But he deserves the push, though.
You gotta be realistic.
Come on, he's the megastar. He deserves to be world champion. LA Knight deserves the push.
But will he get it?
Probably not. But Ricky also says in the chat, Ricky also says Reigns is staying champion for a year, if not longer. Probably a year, but I would say if LA Knight wins the briefcase, though, this September, have him cash in successfully on Reigns or Rollins. Even if Roman, hold on. Sorry about that. Even if Roman wins it back for LA Knight or Seth from by the end of the year, the beginning of next year, and Roman goes to Mania next year as champion, then Roman loses to Oba at Mania next year. You could always do that as well. Just my 2 cents. But then Ricky says Crown Jewel will be the only time Cody's in the main event. Reigns has took over that spot now. Well, Roman's a face of the company. Cody's a face of the company guy too. Probably Cody is very close to Roman, in my opinion.
Well, Cody's already main evented several pay-per-views this year.
Yeah.
The Rumble,
fans singing.
Yeah. And Mania.
Then he mentions fans singing Lesnar's theme at Clash and Reigns' theme on Raw. I did see that, yes.
Yeah, the crowd, they were singing Don, 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 Don.
Yeah. Then Ricky says EO is winning Queen of the Ring. Rumors are Liv versus EO at SummerSlam. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind EO winning. I mean, if not Jason.
Like, what is Liv Morgan doing as world champion on Raw? She's like managing.
Yeah, she's a manager.
Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Like, they need to give EO something after the Asuka match.
And make up for not doing EO and Asuka Kairi at WrestleMania, which they should have done. This would at least make up for that. Yeah. And he says Danhausen is undefeated. Yes, that's true.
Doesn't even wrestle that much. I mean, yeah, he's undefeated because he doesn't wrestle all that much. And all he's faced is Kit Wilson and The Miz.
Oh, Jesus, man. Yeah, don't even get me started on that. But then he
says
Reigns
no wonder he's undefeated.
Yeah, then he says Reigns is levels above Cody, who was champion for 3.5 years and has most main events. That's I know, but moving on. The King and what do you think? What do we get? King and Queen of the Ring winners. I think I'm going Seth Rollins, and I'm gonna go JC Jane.
I'm gonna go Seth Rollins and Charlotte.
Really?
They've been teasing Charlotte and Rhea now for a while.
Yeah. The reason I say JC is because JC, for the Fatal Influence, has been killing it on SmackDown. Why not keep that momentum going? You have JC beat EO, JC beat Charlotte.
You could certainly do that.
Have JC and Rhea at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
you can crown JC there.
Yeah, and with Rollins, they were gonna do Roman and Seth this year at Mania, and then Rollins got hurt. They can, and I'm sure they're gonna do a third match. And please, this is where you end the whole Rollins Vicious angle.
Yeah,
you have Rollins win in the finals.
Yeah, you could certainly do that.
Yeah,
but I mean, those are your King of the Ring brackets. Sure, I wish they were one-on-one set of fatal four-way first rounds. I understand protecting certain people, but they could have done this better. But it still looks good, but it could have been done better, in my opinion. Minus a few minor things, I think it looks okay. Like Liv Morgan, the champ in the tournament, she's the world champion. Why is she in this? Something like that. But that's just my opinion on that. But then the final topic of discussion here on this episode. Apparently, recent update on the merger lawsuit. I'm going to let you take the floor on this one.
The gift that keeps on giving. Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yes.
Oh my God. So with this WWE merger lawsuit, more updates on this merger lawsuit. The TKO and could be facing even more debt. And they already have.
I'm hearing about what? Something like about it says like what? Almost 1,000 something like or million or what, if that's even a number.
Yeah. Report shareholders, plaintiffs, because the shareholders are suing TKO. The shareholder plaintiffs are seeking $466 to $957 million in damages.
Yikes! Is all I gotta say. Yikes!
According to Brendan Thurston of WrestleNomics, Post Wrestling, and the shout out to Brandon, who's covered the story. Attorneys representing a class of WWE shareholders in merger lawsuit argue, based on their expert report, that they are owed close to $1 billion. The mandatory damages that the plaintiffs are seeking range between $466 million and $957 million, plus
Holy
interest
shit.
accrued since the merger closed nearly 3 years ago. The range comes from analysis written earlier this year by James L. Canisia, a financial economist retained by the plaintiffs. If the plaintiffs win mandatory damages, that money would be proportionally disturbed to shareholders who held WWE stock during relevant time to be determined. The lawsuit was filed in 2023, alleges that Vince McMahon predetermined the transaction with Endeavor to secure his continued role at the company in light of the sexual misconduct scandal surrounding him, rather than shopping WWE to maximize shareholder value. End quote.
This man, Vince McMahon, cannot stay out of trouble.
Literally, it keeps getting worse. I'm actually astonished at how worse this gets.
There's death taxes, and Vince McMahon continues to not stay out of trouble.
Literally, yeah, death taxes and Vince cannot stay out of trouble. Like you already know. It keeps getting worse. It keeps finding a way to top himself.
And they're what? And TKO's what? $6 billion in debt. You add this in debt now.
Yeah, if they lose this lawsuit, and they lose almost $1 billion, that is $7 billion in debt.
My God, I don't feel sorry for TKO. They knew what they were getting, and they still negotiated with this fucking pedophile to sell the company, which, by the way, did not need to be sold.
It should never have been sold.
Unbelievable. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say, man. It was never about selling the company. And if it was in the hands of Stephanie and Triple H or no Endeavor or TKO whatsoever, I guarantee you the company would be much different and better off than it is now. You want to have it feel so fucking corporate and constant ads and commercials and all these budget cuts. You wouldn't be seeing much of any of that whatsoever if that was the case. Vince sold the company as a big fuck you to his family. And Vince showed his true colors, choosing outsiders over his own family. Fuck Vince McMahon. And anybody who defends him. I don't know what else you want me to say. I don't feel sorry for anybody named in this lawsuit. I don't.
It's a fucking mess. Like they got themselves into this. Vince got himself into this.
And Ari and Shapiro possibly being exposed as a liability. Yikes.
Like they already have this merger lawsuit.
And it's
And they have the
scheduled for
shareholder
trial in
lawsuit.
4 days, dude. It's scheduled for trial in 4 days. We're definitely keeping very close attention to this for sure.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I don't know about you, man, but yikes.
They get what they deserve. They have nobody to blame but themselves. Ari Emanuel, Mark Shapiro, Vince McMahon.
I'd even say Nick Khan in there. Nick Khan is another one.
Yeah. Langus.
What in the blue hell is a Langus?
Rated backwards.
Yeah, I have no sympathy for them whatsoever. Zero.
Literally, all this idiot had to do was never come back. This man was told by shareholders, don't sell the company. Don't come back. Or if he was going to sell the company, sell it to the highest bidder. Vince McMahon shunned every bidder that were willing to play, that were willing to give him money, all because he wanted to stay in power, all because nobody wanted him there. Every bidder from KKR
and Liberty Media.
Yeah, Liberty Media, Comcast, Disney. They didn't want him there. The only people that wanted him there was Endeavor. And he didn't entertain any offers from any bidders but Endeavor because they were the only people willingly, were the only ones willing to keep him in charge.
And they knew of Vince's sexual misconduct while negotiating to sell the company, or the quick sale of the company in Endeavor. And they did nothing about it. They knew. They did fuck all about it. You know, other companies would have required Vince's permanent exit. And Ari and Shapiro knew of the sexual misconduct against Vince. And did they do anything about it? No. They didn't care. Now Ari and Shapiro possibly being exposed as liabilities, I have 0 ounce of sorrow for them. 0. Why would I feel sorry for them? Because they knew exactly what they were doing.
Oh, I wouldn't have done the deal without Vince McMahon. I would have body slammed him.
Yes, as if Ari Emanuel knows how to hit a fucking wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, but Vince McMahon should be in jail?
Yeah, he should be in fucking jail. I don't think he is going to be, but it's because it's a civil case. But he's also got the Janelle Grant case on him, too. That's another one.
They have multiple lawsuits. This guy has multiple lawsuits hanging over his head.
I hope they get the fucking worst. I don't know if they will, but I hope they get the fucking worst. I
hope they lose, better yet.
Oh, but most of insurance may cover most of the costs, though.
They are in debt. $6 billion or $3 billion in debt. Somewhere around that range, 3 to 6. Like, they're already in debt. Like, how much worse can it get for them?
This is... I mean, I don't know about you, man. I don't know. Man, this is interesting indeed. We're definitely going to keep you up to date on this. I'm sure we're going to be talking about this episode 28 next week here on the podcast. Next week.
Yeah.
You know? Because the trial date is next week from June 8th to June 12th. From June 8th to June 12th. It's going to be very, very interesting if you ask me. So, we're good. So, guys, we're definitely going to let you know on this come with a trial next week. But, my God, the more I'm hearing this, yeah. I mean, I have no words, but yikes. They deserve every single fucking bit of bad that's coming to them. And I hope it does come the way and they deserve. And if it does, and I hope they do, and hope it do, and if it does, and I hope it does, and you know what? It does, which I hope it does. The bad coming to them, the absolute worst coming to them, they deserve every bit of it, every ounce. All Vince had to do 3 years ago was stay the fuck away and let his family run the company with him having nothing to do with it and pass the company simply over to Triple H and Stephanie McMahon and the McMahon family. That's all Vince had to do. But Vince's massive ego got the better of him because he couldn't take the fact his family ran it better than he ever did for all this time, and he couldn't stomach it. And he showed his true colors, selling the company to his friends than putting in the hands of his family. And you see the company where it's at now under Endeavor and TKO. If it was not, if the company wasn't sold and if the company wasn't with Endeavor or TKO whatsoever, I swear to God, WWE would be so much better off than it is right now. And you can thank Vince McMahon for the state of the company of where it's at right now. Fuck Vince McMahon and anybody that defends that piece of shit pedophile. Fuck him. Fuck him. Any other final words before we get the hell out of here, bro?
Like, I don't know what to say. I think I needed to say what I need to say. And last week as well. What a terrible human being. What a disgusting, perverted human being.
Just a pedophile, sexual predator, just monster, deviant piece of shit Vince McMahon is.
It's selfish.
Yep. Power hungry. Awful.
He deserves every bad thing happening to him.
Yep.
Same thing with Ori and Chip Hero.
Yep. No questions asked about that whatsoever. But that is that for episode 27 of Forbidden Podcast. We appreciate you showing up. You guys are awesome. You guys are the best. Appreciate the love and support as always. Make sure you hit the like on the video and subscribe to FioriousNation if you've not done so already. If you're new watching, hit the bell for all notifications. It helps a ton in the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you go do all of that. Follow me on X at FioriNick579, Adam Carl at AdamCarl2005. Next week, episode 28 will be next Thursday, June 11th. Sometime next week. Look out for that. All that good stuff. Appreciate you guys showing up once again. You guys fucking rock. You guys have a good rest of your Thursday, guys. Now that we're into June, starting the month off of June strong and stronger and stronger. We will see you next week for June 11th for Forbidden Podcast next week, episode 28. See you guys later. Have a good rest of your day and your rest of your good Thursday. Peace out.